issues. They affect us all. And so, tonight on Second Nature, we'll be recycling some old nature footage.
Oh. You know, when you start getting harassed on the internet, there is absolutely fucking nothing that they won't get their hands into. I swear to Jesus. So I have to do this video because apparently that psychopath Drader is making shirts somewhere of the Tento stuff. I don't know if it's an actual thing where you can go buy shit or people are just trolling. I don't know. At this point, it doesn't matter because there's a bunch of moron psychos just like him coming on this page and saying that you can, oh man, he's got some really cool merch that you can buy. I'm telling you that he's breaking the law, he's breaking copyright, because in 2008, when I published that novel, I own everything under that name, Tento. It's mine. I can sue your ass if it's for real and you're making money on it. I really hate doing videos like this because it's always negative. It's always negative because all of these fucking psychos that got on my ass won't leave me alone. So, for everybody out there that's interested in this project, if you're buying a shirt that says that on it, it's not me. It's unofficial merchandise that people are breaking the law, breaking copyright laws, and if I can get a fucking attorney sometime, I'm gonna sue the piece of shit. To let you know, I'm letting everybody know out there, I'm sorry for the psychos that follow me. I apologize. I really do want to do something with this because I know it could go somewhere. And because of the people that are involved in my life, it's going to be harder than I'd like it to be. Sorry about the sound of the washer. Don't buy any t-shirts. They're not official. It's not official Tento merch. Pray for me that I could get an attorney and sue these freaks. God bless y'all.
Let's start the fucking show, eh?
You're all going to jail.
I will never leave YouTube.
I don't give a fuck about the fucking law. I'll beat your ass.
Don't come to my channel again. You will be banned.
I'll beat your ass.
You officially entered the wet panty zone.
Folks, let's move on over here. Thank you, one and all, for joining us for a very special Weirdo Wonderland Cinco de Mayo VONHELTON style. So just to be clear, folks, we are not at all poking fun, and there's no offense intended to our friends south of the border, south of your border, and a lot south of my border, our brothers and sisters from Mexico, who of course celebrated Cinco de Mayo on Monday, not to be confused with the very sacred Mexican holiday, at least up here, which is Taco Tuesday. So Monday they celebrated Cinco de Mayo, and VONHELTON and crew did a live stream. So we're going to check that out. We're going to check a lot of Von out tonight. And really, it's been quiet in a lot of fronts. I mean, even Targeted Citizen, it's been a couple weeks since he's put out anything. So it's all quiet on the lulls front, which usually means a lull storm is a brewing. So, you know, be prepared, folks. Be prepared. Get your emergency kits all set up. Batten down the hatches, all that good stuff. Because who knows what's going to happen. But yeah, tonight's going to be a lot of VONHELTON. I'm going to be getting caught up. Shanny was live earlier. I don't know if it was anything worth watching. I think it was Cozy Corner or some bullshit. So who knows? And actually, J-Dubs, Vaughn, and Sammy went live earlier, and it got pretty hot. It got pretty explosive. Sammy lost his shit, apparently, on J-Dubs, calling him a non-Jew. That's putting it a nice way. And a lot of other, let's just say, colorful slurs were thrown at John. Of course, John, being a bitch, privated the video. I got 4 minutes of it that we can maybe check out. But I heard through the grapevine that someone got some of it. So if that shows up on the internets tonight, we'll include it in the show. Because from what I hear, it was pretty explosive. I tried to tape some of it. Like I said, record. That's showing my age. I tried to record some of it. I got a little bit, and then they shut down the show. And I was like, oh, you motherfuckers. So we'll do our best to get caught up on that. But we got some other stuff. Like I said, congratulations and good luck to Honey Badger out there, who says she is actually watching this as she commutes to a job interview by the sounds of it. So good luck with that. We wish you only the best. We don't want to waste too much time here, folks. I have my drink opened, ready to pour. We got the Heineken, folks. Ice cold, ice cold. I think we're done with the Christmas beers, unless I find one or two in the back of the fridge. Actually, I think I do, but they're like really dark ales. I'm not a huge dark ale guy. I drank one of them. It wasn't bad, but I don't know. Oh. Folks. All right, let's have a sip. Here we go. Yep. That's a good omen right there, folks. So someone's doing the whole steal your gag, sell the merch thing, which is hilarious. Speaking of that, I don't really promote it that much, but if you're interested, and Lusty actually shared the link earlier. Links are in the description, but we do have some folks merch, and there has been some new stuff added here, folks, just in case, if you were wondering. There's some lovely mugs, some t-shirts. Listen, this summer, someone's got a birthday, and someone's going to love this hot dog pint glass. Look at that. I'm a hot dog, folks. We got stickers. We got, a whole bunch of crap if you go on there. But anyways, yeah, there's a link in the description if you want to check that out. It's a way of supporting the channel and actually getting something for it, but you don't have to. Just being here is good enough. I'm happy that you are here. So let's get this show started. We got some pre-recorded stuff we're going to bounce through, and then we're going to jump over to I guess Vaughn's Odyssey and see what's going up. He says he's been right about something, so I don't know, broken clock and all that good stuff, folks. Other than that, I can't think of anything. The Pope died, and they got a new Pope. I don't know if that's lulzy or not, but we'll see how that all plays out. Anyways, folks, let's kick it off with a little musical number. A classic, folks. A classic. Let's do it. Oh, yeah.
You can run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Sooner or later gotta cut you down. Sooner or later gotta cut you down. Go and tell that long-tongued liar. Go and tell that midnight rider. Tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter. Tell him that God's gonna cut him down. Tell him that God's gonna cut him down. Well, my goodness gracious, let me tell you the news. My head's been wet with the midnight dew. I've been down on bended knee, talking to the man from Galilee. He spoke to me in a voice so sweet, I thought I heard the shuffle of the angels' feet. He called my name and my heart stood still when he said, John, go do my will. Go and tell that long-tongued liar. Go and tell that midnight rider. Tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter. Tell him that God's gonna shut him down. Tell him that God's gonna shut him down. You can run on for a long time.
Terrorist _ Society donated $6.66. Someone go and tell Von the big news. The toad has ran off.
No, I don't know. Is that news out there? I haven't seen Todd for a while, but I'm sure we can make up some story to get Von's attention. But thank you very much. I do appreciate that, folks.
Run on for a long time, run on for a long time. Tell them the God's gonna shut them down, tell them the God's gonna shut them down. Well, you may throw your rock and hide your hand, working in the dark against your fellow man. But as sure as God made black and white, what's done in the dark will be brought to the light. You can run on for a long time, run on for a long time, run on for a long time. Sooner or later gotta cut you down, sooner or later gotta cut you down. Go and tell that long-tongued liar, go and tell that midnight rider, tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter, tell him that God's gonna shut him down, tell him that God's gonna shut him down, tell him that God's gonna shut him down.
We'll be right back after these messages.
All right. Happy Cinco de Mayo. I hope everyone is doing well. It's a oh, Vaughn's saying unblock me, little piggy. All right, try now, Vaughn. Little piggy, let me in. 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 Hey, little piggy, let me in. Let me in, little piggy. I guess we can do like that shot. The back shot. Hey, what's going on, Vaughn? At work, but Sammy says he wants to do a show, so.
All right, beautiful.
Maybe I could turn
You
the
got a
phone.
vertical instead of a horizontal.
Well, that's why I'm
There it
on the phone, so the phone is the phone.
Yeah, you got to turn the phone sideways in order to get the full effect in there. It's advantageous that you called because I wanted to tell you I am moving my files. Well, not moving. I'm copying my files from this computer to the hard drive that I purchased.
Okay, so wait. Start that over. I didn't hear you. What's going on?
I am copying the files from this computer to the hard drive that I purchased.
Oh,
I
sweet.
my hard drive
Did you
today.
set up the new computer yet?
No, I've got to transfer the files first.
Oh, okay.
Once I get all the files transferred over into the external hard drive, then I'll hook it up to the main computer. I'll swap out the memory sticks and fire it up, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully, it doesn't explode. That would kind of suck if it exploded, but hopefully, it will not.
Yeah.
The Jewish leprechaun has arrived.
I did an ode to you, Vaughn.
I
titled myself, what was it?
Be careful, we're on YouTube. Be careful what you say.
No, this is innocent. This is totally innocent.
There's no such thing as with you these days.
I titled myself Maynard and Skippy combined in our last show.
Maynard and Skippy combined. Okay, there you go. Well, there'll still be no Melvins on your job, so there you go.
There you go.
There you go.
What's up, John?
Yeah, what's happening? I'm at work. I'm in the office, so.
Oh, you're on a break or something?
No, I'm done with work. I just don't want to drive.
Ah, I gotcha. That's cool. Yeah, you got You got your workplace people around you. You're not all depressed and lonely.
Yeah, sure. I guess that's one way of looking at
thing
it.
is missing is your Jim Beam. Where is the Jim Beam in the car? You're breaking up, John.
I would never drive with alcohol in the car.
Ah. You have a stash at work over there in the office?
But what are you doing, Sammy? You're trying to get me fired from my job?
No, it's the tradition
you're
of the
trying to get me fired from my job? What are you trying to do, Sammy?
It's a leprechaun tradition on the show. You can't.
What are you doing? So what are you doing to me, Sammy? You want me fired? Is that what it is, Sammy?
No, you can't conduct a show without taking some leprechaun shots.
Well, let's just say I have to be a good boy because I'm at work.
Oh, that's all right. I understand.
You know what I mean? I don't want to give anyone the illusion that I'm bad at my job.
Oh.
I'm a good employee. I'm a good person. I do right, and the people on YouTube and the internet are evil pricks, and they will do anything to hurt me.
You only smoke crack in the restrooms when nobody's watching.
Thank you, Sammy. I might be black, but I'm only black Irish.
You're a technical black leprechaun.
I may be black, but it's black Irish. Okay, Sammy.
Black.
But you've gone over to the other side. You're no longer a white supremacist. You're like a leprechaun.
Oh, bad funneler. Bad funneler.
What are you saying? I got
Holy
jungle
shit,
fever?
bad
Is that what you're
funneler.
saying?
What?
What?
You're saying I got jungle fever? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, jungle fever.
You're like in permanent jungle fever mode. You're literally you've literally converted over to being
here in a second.
A literal lepra. You know what?
It comes down to
Oh my!
This is what it comes down to, right? The big ass, the big fat ass.
Oh boy!
So that's the married woman that John denied that he was trying to like harass and stuff on the internet. That apparently wants something to do with him, and the husband wants something to do with him. Yeah. So that's the woman John was denying last live stream that they were talking about. And apparently today, if you think this is bad, apparently today it all boiled over. Because with Sammy, he's kind of joking, but not joking. And he called, I don't know if I can say everything that I heard. I'm just relaying it. I'm just the messenger. But it was something to the effect that he accused John of being a Mick fake Jew. And he was fucking gorillas. That's how he put it today, that he was fucking gorillas. So... yeah.
Boy, now you're tempting me to convert over to being a leprechaun on myself here. Oh wow, look at that.
I know. Someone, Lynn May wants to know what is jungle fever. It's when you have urge to be with the people of color. Let's just put them that way.
It's the same as like having Asian jungle fever, or it's rice-a-roni fever. What's that?
It's when you
yellow fever. They call it
yellow fever.
It's when you want to have imminent relations with someone with dark skin. That's what it means. That's what it means. That's the meaning of life. That's what it means, dude.
So Vaughn, you're packing up all the files over and you're getting it ready.
I want to get together with the soy sauce. Let's get some Chinese food.
I got the soy sauce, and I forgot to get the teriyaki sauce. Damn it! So I got to go back and get teriyaki sauce.
Oh man!
Oh, did you buy the soybeans? The fermented soybeans?
I'm looking for them. I'm gonna see if I can find them in a can, where all I got to do is just open up the can, put them in a bowl, put them in the microwave to heat up. That's what I'm looking for.
Fine cuisine, pheasant under glass, folks. Well, I don't know how the dollar stores are down there in Kentucky, the Dollar General in Odina. I have no idea, but fermented soybeans. I'm going to take a wild guess that those probably aren't a regularly carried item there, but
because if I can do that, man, I'll buy a whole case of them suckers. Because I got to get rid of this tub, man. I got to get rid of this tub. That's all there is to it.
Dude, I highly recommend it. I promote it.
You're not the only one that recommends it. Apparently, there's scholars and medical professionals that are also highly recommending it. So,
I mean,
I'm gonna look into it. I want to get it in a can, though. I want to get it in the can where all I got to do is bring it home, open up the can, put it in a bowl, shove it in the microwave, heat it for like 2-3 minutes, whatever, and I'm good to go. That's what I want. Now, whether I can find it, I don't know. But that's what I'm looking for.
Shannon wants to know, is there any topics of today's show?
Is there a topic of today's show?
Yeah, I got a topic for you. Israel is about to bomb Iran and kick off the war. We're going to kick off the war. We're not waiting for Trump, President Trump, sorry.
We're not waiting for... I got a fun belly, so there you go. I've got a belly full of fun, buddy.
For the cabinet over there to decide.
Wait a minute. Hold on. This is breaking news. You're telling me that Israel's going to buck against Trump and attack Iran anyway and start World War III?
No, we're going to...
Let's do it. I can't wait for World War III. Let's do it.
No, we're going to give him his space. He requested time. He wanted to give negotiations and talks a chance. He's going to be in the Middle East next week, in Saudi Arabia and UAE, Dubai, whatever. He's going to come here. He's going to make his rounds here. Whatever he gets done, good, great. But if he comes back and returns to the United States empty-handed and just plans on extending the time, or what do you call it? When you give somebody
the deadline.
I've just proven that Shannon does not watch my videos. Shannon says, Vaughn, you're way overdue for a cooking video. Shannon, if you will go and watch my morning coffee, my latest morning coffee, you will watch where I explain how to cook diced chicken and rice. And if you actually pay attention, you'll actually hear what temperature to put the oven on, how long to leave it in there, when to cook the rice, how to cook the rice, not to overcook the rice.
Vaughn, I wanted to hear what Sandy was saying.
So I'm sitting there literally describing how to cook cube chicken and rice, and I go over minute detail even. So yeah, so
I meant to say grace period, because we respected Trump's request, President Trump's wishes and requests. But this is really a matter of do or die now, because the Russians, we did forensics work on the missile that managed to penetrate our defenses and even get past the THAAD missile defense system. Mm-hmm. It's a Russian hypersonic glide missile. They even said that on Fox News. They posted. They talked about it. They said that either the Russians, most likely the Russians, not the Chinese, gave the Houthis a highly sophisticated hypersonic missile. Okay.
You know what? Okay, stop. Full stop. You don't think Muslims have infiltrated all the Western and Eastern countries in this world? Fuck yes, they have. Especially Russia. I guarantee you there are Muslims in Russian government right fucking now. You don't think they're going to send that shit back to the Middle East? Of course they are.
No, okay. It was a calculated move on the part of Putin. All right, because the Ukraine war is not being resolved by the peace talks. There are no ceasefires. And America is now escalating. Trump approved the sale of a whole shitload of F-16s to Ukraine. All right, and they said that they were going to walk away from Ukraine. They're not walking away. The
Trump administration has said they're making a big deal, a big mineral rights deal with Ukraine, where they get the mineral rights in exchange for weapons. You know, because everybody's like, oh, well, we're not giving Ukraine any money anymore. That's true. We're not giving Ukraine money anymore. We've stopped that. However, we are going to give them weapons for the minerals that they give us. So, And Trump is opening Alcatraz. That is true. He is opening up Alcatraz.
Yeah, but he's not resolving the Ukraine war. He found it much more difficult to get done than he thought it would be.
Well, you can't end it now because if Russia attacks Ukraine now with American citizens down there, and they get killed, it's on, baby. It's on like Donkey Kong.
Well, you know why? That's why I was going to finish my speculation that it's the reason why Russia is sent over hypersonic, very sophisticated hypersonic glide missiles to the Houthis to fire at us to change the subject,
change the
narrative. Yeah, and actually ignite a war in the Middle East to suit their interests. All right, because they know that what happens is we're on the edge of a total meltdown globally. And the whole world is being reordered. So everybody's looking to, America isn't looking to do this. America is hesitant about doing this because they know that this is the actual scenario that takes down the whole entire financial system. It's just one spark. If a war, an open war, is begun against Iran, they'll block the Straits of Hormuz. Oil prices will shoot through the moon. And it's the one last push that'll tip over the global economy and the whole entire financial system.
But we don't need
one way or another. All right. So you have Tulsi Gabbard now, the head of the National Security Agency, right? And she's saying that the intelligence that she's been given tells her that the Iranians are not planning on building a nuclear weapon. What? So
down there.
It's disinformation.
Okay, all right. Look, listen. Now that I know for a fact that oil is not a finite source, it is renewable. That Gaia literally creates fucking oil. Okay, now that I know this, I know that every oil thing that's going on, no matter who's doing it, it's a scam. Okay, because oil is renewable. It's like fucking water.
As much as it replenishes itself, it doesn't happen overnight. And there's a game.
No, that's true. It doesn't happen overnight.
There's a finite game that's being played here, and it has to do with resetting the financial system. All right, because the petrodollar has run its course.
It's Cinco de Mayo. Is it Cinco de Mayo?
It's Cinco de Mayo today. Yeah.
Holy shit! It is Cinco de Mayo. Holy shit! It really pisses me off. Nobody tells me these things. Nobody tells me shit. Nobody tells me nothing, man. Hey, caramba.
Ay, caramba.
Ay, caramba. Mino, tío.
I could go for some food right now.
I could go for
Chicas calientes, bonitas.
I want some soft burritos, man. I do.
I want some chicas mexicanas.
Hey, I don't give a fuck.
Some Mexican women.
As long as it's edible and it doesn't make me sick, I'm good.
What kind of Latin women do you like, John, aside from the black African women? What's your favorite?
I like Brazilian women. I like the Brazilian, Colombian.
You like the Brazilian women?
Brazilian.
I like Colombianas, yeah.
Okay.
Colombian women are beautiful. I love them.
They sent you with the hard burrito. Okay. All right.
Oh, well, Vaughn can give you the big red one.
Well, in May, here's what you do. You go to the airport. You say, I want to go to Lexington International Airport, and they will tell you how much it costs for a plane ticket. Make sure your passport's up to date. Make sure you've gotten your shots, and get on the plane.
Hey, John, what's the flag backdrop? Where's the flag backdrop? Give us a backdrop.
Where is the back? We don't have any backdrop. There's no backdrop.
He's not his phone. He knows how to do it.
I think he went to basic. See, when you do basic, you don't get a backdrop.
You don't get anything anymore. They took it away.
Oh, they got rid of it?
They got rid of every feature unless you pay for it.
Yeah, probably did. Well, I'm not paying now either because of a situation that's developed, but it's okay. I will hopefully be back up and running.
But you know what?
Soon.
I
don't know what's going on. I think that sounds like they're trying to cut the grass.
I called it. I gave it a name. Okay, it's like the end scene again of War Games in the NORAD mountain, a kind of like bunker. All right. Remember when they have all the different types of possibilities to trigger a global thermonuclear war? So I have one. It's called the Straits of Hormuz Gambit. The Straits of Hormuz Gambit.
That sounds about
It's
right.
not going to kick off a nuclear war. It's just going to trigger the global financial.
It's going to trigger it, right?
It's going to trigger the global financial collapse, not a thermonuclear war.
Not yet.
No. When you have the financial collapse, the world goes into a state of paralysis, and then you can forget about nuclear war.
Hopefully.
That's what I believe the Russians are betting on. All right? I mean, America doesn't want that to happen. America would prefer that not happen. They want to have this be a controlled demolition in slow motion, like a slow motion train wreck that they can somewhat control.
Well, Sammy, I don't know if you're aware of this, but did you know that in World War II we almost got destroyed?
Do what?
America? Yeah, America. There was subs all off our coast, both coasts.
Yeah, none of them had nuclear weapons. Back then they didn't have.
And apparently some idiot set the launch and launched all the missiles. And luckily there was somebody that had a functioning brain and said, hey, wait a minute. If we destroy the United States, it'll start a global war.
They didn't have way back then in the World War II. They didn't have submarine launched cruise missiles. That was not
maybe it was later. Maybe it was a Korean War or Vietnam War. But anyway, and this one guy, he stopped it. I don't remember how he stopped it, but he was able to stop it or tell him to stand down or some shit. But
yeah, well, you're on the edge of the Russians totally going bonkers. It's Putin that's keeping them at bay. They're ready to go full nuclear war on your asses.
Oh
so
yeah,
sure. I mean, I'm not a masochist, and I'm like I don't like I'm not a sadomasochist, and I don't like being.
And the Constitution is not a suicide pact.
I don't like being attacked, but it was a Russian made hypersonic glide missile, and it's an escalation, and I think the Russians did it on purpose so it would give us a reason to start the war against Iran. And then the Straits of Hormuz gambit goes into play, and then the whole entire financial system gets reset. And guess what, John? Remember I made a video with you months ago about Japan and the Japanese carry trade, and
J Skull donated $5 through Super Chat. I'd rather have my meat stick stuck in a meat grinder than have to listen to Sammy for any amount of time.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. I'm going to start skimming through this, I think, here pretty soon. But, I mean, it's always going to be Sammy. That's unfortunate when Sammy's in one of these, and content's been slow. I mean, I don't know what to do. But, yeah, we're going to have to skip through this. I totally concur. It's rough. It's rough, folks. The struggle is real. And I see J-Dubs is gorging on a piece of pizza. Might not be a hot dog, but oh, what the hell, folks.
Bam. I'm a hot dog. Bam. I'm a hot dog. Bam. I'm a hot dog. Look at me. Look at me. Bam. I'm a hot dog. Bam. I'm a hot dog. Bam. I'm a hot dog. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. I'm a hot dog. Everybody party. I'm a hot dog. Fun on a bun. Bam, bam. Fun. Bam, bam. Fun. Bam, bam. Fun. I'm a hot dog. Everybody party. Look at me. 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 I'm a hot dog.
Their reserves of American treasury bonds, that they have more than even the Chinese. They have $1 trillion worth plus. They're threatening to sell all of that off and trigger a bond crisis where you would have a treasury bond rates spike, that they'll spike and trigger a market collapse. You know, the Japanese are becoming desperate. They're distancing themselves even from the dollar and from the American system. And you know, I told you this would happen eventually. And it's a drawn out process, but they've made open threats. They're in a recession. Their job market is also collapsing. It's happening. America's already in a technical recession. The job market is not as good as everybody thinks it is. And the housing market in America has begun to crash. People are lowering the prices that they want to sell their homes for, and now there's like a race to the bottom. I just heard this now. People are lowering their listed prices for their homes by 30-40% to try to sell their homes. So the housing market crash has begun in America. I'm telling you, it's not even a slow motion, demolition. Now, the only thing is, I'll put it out there. I said it on the first show, and I wasn't, elaborate enough, and I wasn't eloquent enough to say this. The whole scenario gets set up in such a way that the Jews end up becoming the fall guys. Israel ends up becoming the fall guy, all right, for triggering it all. And this is God's will. All right, because he doesn't want the Jews living in the diaspora anymore amongst the Gentiles. Enjoy. Soft ice.
Baby.
Blue Bunny.
I'll give you a Blue Bunny. I'll give you a Blue Bunny softie. I'll give it right to you. I'll give it right to you, baby.
You saw that schmuck with the pizzas, the Jew that does the pizza reviews. What's his name?
Dave Van Loy.
Yeah, the bankers like us to be in debt. That's correct.
What's his name, John?
Dan Panoy.
It's Dave Portnoy. Even that's Barstools. Even though I know that guy.
Dave Panoy.
Panoy. Listen to this fucking schmuck.
And he's
talking about Jew with pizza face. This fucking
not a Portnoy.
Portnoy. Right.
Portnoy.
Right.
He started, you know what happened? He did a video. He started, bawling and crying that somebody came into his bar and started taunting him with Holocaust memorabilia and photos. Arbeit macht frei. And like they came to taunt.
I picked someone up in my Uber last night, and the woman and a brother, a woman in her 20s, and then maybe the brother was 23 or something like that. And she went off on me, man, about how Jews are, they faked the Holocaust, they killed Kennedy, they're destroying the world, the Jews are pedophiles, and all the evil people. And she just went on about how evil Jews are and how Jews are destroyed. Oh my God, holy shit! I was like, and then she goes, "What, are you mad at me? What are you gonna do? Drive us off the cliff and kill everybody in the car?" Like she was like taunting me. She was like really fucking real.
Well, how did she know you were a Jew?
Huh?
Did you tell her you were a Jew?
Yeah, I told
her. This story sounds almost unbelievable, and the part about like driving over a cliff sounds like a total invention of J-Dub's mind, because that's exactly the type of shit he says. So, and he's not working, so he's probably just was depressed and made up this whole fucking scenario. And that's how he was actually feeling the night before, and he took tonight off because he's in his feels, folks. But
I was a Jew, of course. What do you mean? Kiddush Hashem.
Well, there you go, because it's happening all over Europe. An Israeli couple went to celebrate some kind of anniversary in Naples, and the restaurant owner started yelling and taunting at them, calling them all sorts of names, genociders, and all sorts of other bullshit. They got into a scuffle. It made a scandal, and then things are all around the world. There are signs, and I know we went back and forth, but the Jews are being singled out and pigeonholed and scapegoated by all types. And we have friends, we have enemies everywhere, but now there's no kind of like hesitation. There's no shame. They don't feel intimidated anymore. They'll lash out because they're having a hard time, and they see that the world is going through a hard time, and we're always the convenient scapegoats because we air quotes murdered the crucifixional job opportunity, sticking their nose in the Indian.
It won't matter where I go. It's just going to be him blabbing
Business.
Unfortunately,
it is a big. You didn't add the D. You wrote coming together. It's
Slim is out of control, man. That shit's draining and draining and draining and draining. It's like holy shit. And it's not.
You mean real licorice, and not the fucking candy shit? Is that what you're saying?
No, not the candy shit. The real licorice. Yeah,
real licorice. Right. He's talking about the food, not the candy.
Yeah.
I can. Yeah.
It'll open up. Your whole
some of that, and try to stop this damn drainage, man. It's so frustrating. Because it's not, it's not, oh, well, here's it's a runny nose and then you wipe it and then it's gone. No. This shit drains and drains and drains and it just does not
John,
stop.
Who's listening to us?
It comes back down the throat and it's horrible.
Who's listening to us, Sammy? Who's listening?
Tim Pool.
Yeah, I like
Tim Pool's listening? Oh, yeah.
Wait a minute, Tim Pool.
He repeated our talking points.
Oh,
he repeated our talking points about
America
being
food points again?
Food security. We were talking about food security. Guess what?
Yeah. Food security. Yeah, absolutely.
On his last show, he was talking about food security, and we talked about him interviewing Ben Davidson and about the pole shift and everything.
Right.
We talked about it in the same show about food security, the pole shift, and all that. And he repeated the talking points. He went on about it again, about America's food security and what happens if the reset takes place and what kind of he speculated about what would happen and who would freak out, who'd be all right, how it would go down.
It'd be easier to open up Alcatraz because Alcatraz is built like a fortress. So all you need is to just clean it up, spruce it up, maybe modernize it a little bit, and do a few minor repairs, and Alcatraz is ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, well, they kept it in good condition. It's a museum.
Yeah, Sam is correct. They kept it in decent condition. It's ready to go. I'm serious.
They might as well just blow that place up and get rid of it.
Give them about a month to get it cleaned up and everything. It'll be ready to rock and roll, guaranteed.
Isn't that the prison that was supposed to be escape proof and
I don't know why we're talking about. I don't know what Trump's talking about opening Alcatraz because the fucking foreigners he's deported needs due process. I've never heard that before. I've never heard that
foreigners don't get due process.
If you're here illegally, you have no fucking rights.
You have no due process. You have no rights.
Due process is for Americans and citizens
if
of
you
the
come
country.
here illegally, you ain't got no rights.
There are unalienable rights, of all citizens, like every citizen of the world has unalienable
Americans. These guys aren't citizens.
Of the world. I mean, of just
it does. What you're saying? The American Constitution applies to Mexicans.
Not fully, but they do have unalienable rights. Like
no. Americans have unalienable rights.
Oh no, I will not.
We the people is the American people. We the people.
Well,
Ellis Island. If he's got do something similar in New York, if Alcatraz is going to be opened up.
Yeah, just turn New York City, the island of Manhattan. Just turn that in. Just build a wall around it, and just there you go. The whole island.
From New York.
Escape from New York.
Escape from New York. Only
you don't need to do that to Manhattan. You could do that on Ellis. You got Ellis Island. Open Ellis Island up again as a.
Hold on. Time out. We got Rusty Niels for you. He says I got good news for you. He says Todd is gone. What do you mean by that, buddy?
Did he die?
No.
What happened with Todd?
That trope is so fucking out of place.
Well, first they're saying Larry died, which turned out to be
which
false.
was a lie. Then they
now they're saying Toad is dead.
Well, they were even trying to say that James Frost is dead. No, he's not dead. He's alive too. And they just lie and lie and lie.
Anyway,
and
Sammy
lie
has
and
a
lie.
great point. We should turn Australia back to what it was originally for, and just dump all our fucking criminals.
Yeah,
there.
Australia was a penal colony for folks.
Yeah,
for those of you that don't know.
just ship everyone that we don't like into our.
Oh, they're all a lot of them are very woke over there in Australia. I mean, you got conservative types in Australia.
Australia
and you got,
just voted a hardcore leftist.
But they're like Canada. I mean, for all the few conservatives they have left over there, the poor schmucks, I feel bad for them. But Australia is like gone. It's like a lost cause.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I think the world is gone. I don't think Trump has the ability to swing things back around. To be personally honest with you, Sammy.
I'll be very straightforward.
Now Israel has admitted what they always wanted to do all along is that they're going to
blow the shit out of Iran.
They're gonna take all of Gaza. They're taking all of Gaza. BB just said so. They're going to take all of Gaza and develop it.
Deport them. Deport their asses. I got to take.
The Muslims are going to go fucking ballistic. They're going to start fucking going crazy, and we're going to pay for it because of these Jew bags. Shannon says gonna miss Todd John. When he's deader than Jesus and he's singing hallelujah with the angels in hell, then I'll be happy. But not until then.
Yeah, he's not. He's not gone anyway. I mean,
Todd is a fat fucking slob. He probably died of a heart attack.
Listen, all he's got to do is what Chain 13 did. He just gets a new computer with a new MAC address and a new ISP, changes his name from Chain 13 to a Bull's Net, and just keeps on going. Okay, and that's all Todd has to do.
We got this guy here called Jim, whatever, however you fucking say his name. Who do you think that is? That's Todd with a sock account. I mean, that's essentially who that is. It's fucking
it's probably
Todd.
Yeah, it probably is Todd. Yeah, probably is. Mm-hmm.
That dude is a weirdo. He's a weirdo.
Yeah, all I know about Todd is that he likes him young. That's the inside scoop that I know about.
In me, I am right up your alley, honey, because that's exactly what I want. I want to be. He
wants young. He wants
all
young,
over that.
fresh.
I want a nice
young, fresh pussy. That's what's on.
Well, here's the thing. I lost contact with the Vietnamese girlfriends I had online, so I need to make up. I need to make up.
Can only be honest,
hey, I'm being super honest.
What's going on with Candace, Vaughn? Is Candace coming to see you?
She ain't gonna do shit. She's hung up on the past,
right?
and the past has literally become a prison for her.
Yeah,
she cannot stop talking about the past. She cannot stop living in the past. And I keep telling her, man, put that shit away. Join Freedom Religion.
Is there a way if she comes up to Kentucky that you could
join Freedom Religion and live a normal life? Well, she can't do that apparently. She won't.
Can you, if Candace came out to Kentucky, could you maybe hit her on the head with the elder scroll and put it back into her senses or something?
If she comes out here, she'll be away from the element that she's facing over there, and so she might just by osmosis actually start acting more normal. So we'll see.
Is that Candace? Is Lynn May Candace?
No,
that's someone else. Candace is another Chinese person.
Candace is another Asian chick.
But I thought maybe Lynn May is impersonating somebody, and she's really Candace.
I don't know. Maybe
Lynn May is probably a secular opinion sock account. That's probably
Lynn May is probably a secular opinion sock account. It's probably secular opinion.
Todd's creamy Mac Mayo sandwich says, "I'll be honest. I miss watching Todd work at the AutoZone and being lazy." Well, that's what he was good at. He was good at being lazy and
good at dodging work, man.
Yeah. I mean, who else can go to work and film themselves doing nothing?
That's
Come on,
right.
who else can do that?
That's right.
All without a breaking a sweat.
Yeah, but anyway, Sammy's right. I think Sammy.
What do you want, Lin May? Do you want to come out here and be with me or not, Lin May? It's up to you. You need to make a decision. You're starting to sound like now you are sounding
Now
like
you
him.
sound like him.
Now you are sounding like him. Make up your mind, Lynn May. You either want to come out here and be with me or you don't. If you don't, say so. That's fine.
Bring
But if you
Candace
do,
on in
then
here.
say that
Bring
too.
Candace in here.
Give her the link if you want to go.
I don't think she goes on live anymore. I don't think.
What does she do? Just text?
Just text, yeah.
Ah, man, that's not the business.
Oh yeah, if she's only 20, that and the legal age is 25.
Oh, she's only 20?
Yeah, she's screwed because legal age I think is 25, and you got to get permission from the parents. So she ain't going nowhere.
Oh, I didn't know she was only 20.
Yeah, I didn't either. I do now though. Hey, but no, I didn't know she was 20. But anyway, yeah, you got to have permission from your parents, I think, before you can even do anything. So, because I think the age is 25. So if that's the case, you can't go anywhere anyway. Too bad, so sad. I am thinking of doing pagan, which is a craft. Huh? Well, yeah, it is a craft. But P-E-G-A-N? What is P-E-G-A-N?
Pagan?
Pagan? Pagan?
I think he's talking about pagan. I think he wants to get
I think he's
pegged.
talking about pagan. Yeah,
I think he wants to get pegged.
Well, he's already got a pinnacle in his thing there, but
see that thing on my icon there? That is a AI recreation of technology that I was shown and told not to tell nobody about it. It was like a purse like that, right?
Uh-huh.
The purse was the device. Like it looked like a purse just to hide it, but the actual it was like it was fucking weird, bro. And that it did look just like that.
But what does it do?
Like a basic. From all these years later, finally I find out that supposedly from ancient aliens that they used to have a handbag, and this is like a fact. Like they would have a handbag, and I guess the handbag would communicate Earth data of whatever sort. It would transmit it to the universe, the galaxies. And stuff.
It was kind of.
That is actually a fact. You heard him say that, folks. This is a fact that the ancients, whoever they may be, had handbags that could communicate Earth data of all sorts to the universe and galaxies. That's and Von Helton knows exactly what he's talking about.
It was kind of embarrassing, here's these big muscular dudes and they got this little handbag that they're carrying. It's like, what the fuck, are these guys all gay? What the fuck? But no, it's not, but it has nothing to do with that.
I swear, bro, and I'm not lying about this shit. Like I couldn't even make this shit up. This happened when I was 22 years old, and I would never fucking fathom some bullshit like that. It's like too strange to even make up. You know what I mean? Anyways,
but see, here's the thing: it's not really a handbag.
No, it's not. It's a fucking device.
More than likely, it's probably some kind of device of some kind. And they're just
and I'm telling you that from what I understood in the documentary I ended up seeing about this.
Well, I was drinking this, but I'm empty, so I got to go get another one.
It's like a fucking transmitter of some sort.
It might be a transmitter of some kind. They got the cone in their left hand, and then they got the handbag in the right hand, so maybe there's a correlation there somewhere. I got to get them out and I'll be back. I will return. Famous words of MacArthur. I will return.
Unbelievable, bro.
The gold prices are surging again.
How much?
Well, today it was up $100. It was it went up and down. It was at $3,500. It went down to like $3,250. Now it's up at $3,345. It's crazy. There's a lot of volatility. 3,347, and there's a lot of volatility in the gold market. Anyway, it's like you remember. You know what you made me think of, John, when you used to call me Debbie Downer. There's a skit on SNL with Rachel Dratch doing the Debbie Downer. You remember her?
Debbie Downer. The Debbie Downer. I don't remember Debbie Downer. I remember Rosanna. I remember Rosanna Downer. I remember that one.
Zooming in on her face, doing when she's doing this kind of goofy looking face, and they have these sound effects. It's funny. Rachel Dratch. I think she's also from Boston. She's Irish, also. I think.
I remember Rosanna Downer. That's who I remember. Rosanna. That's the one I remember. What?
I want to ask you something. You know that response to Morning Coffee Channel?
Yeah.
You seen that? Is that you?
No.
That's a real. That's a real person.
That is a for real person, and he actually is a follower of Freedom Religion. I found out. He bought not one but 2 T-shirts.
Excellent.
I think he bought something else. I think he bought a mug also. But yeah, he is. But Destination File has. Let me decide for each file here. Let me see here. What the hell?
I am so glad.
Same thing here.
I am so glad that Von Helton knows who this guy is. Folks, if you don't know who this person is that they're talking about, give me a moment here. I played a little bit of one of his videos. It's a debate if it's a dude or it's AI. I think it's a dude. I have no idea. I mean, I could be wrong. Geez, Shanny's still alive. Watching spooky videos. I'm sure it's engaging. But let me see if I can find. There was a new video. Where the heck is it? Where the heck is it? I thought it was in my feed here. I have to go look up the channel. Alright, we'll just go right to the source. Right to the teat, folks. Alright, let's put this there. So, like I said, we had featured one of this gentleman's videos before. Let's go a day ago. It's a bit of a long video, but if you haven't seen it, this is who he's referring to. Apparently a follower of Freedom Religion, folks.
I'm a follower of the Honorable Von Helton. This is Monty Corbell, and today I am responding to topics discussed in Von Helton's Morning Coffee 377 to 392. Von Helton teaches us that CERN, the European Organization for Nuclear Research and Particle Physics, is manipulating our reality by using a D-Wave computer hooked up to a Large Hadron Collider combined with a fusion reactor, which grants them the power to pull us from one reality to another of the multi-billions of parallel universes. This is a point Von Helton explains in Morning Coffee 346, 348, 383, 391, and potentially more. Von Helton says it might not be a big deal if you go to bed wearing blue socks and wake up in the morning wearing green socks because CERN switched you into an alternate reality parallel universe. But he says it is a big deal if you wake up one morning and your wife isn't lying beside you. And then you go into the bedroom and your kids are gone too. Another example he gives is maybe you left your keys somewhere, but then you find them somewhere else. While this is a specific cause, it points to the grander scope of a massive issue, which is the modern degradation of truth. Von Helton teaches us in Morning Coffee 383 that Judaism, Islam, and Christianity are not real, but rather an invention of ancient Rome based on stories from Babylon, Acadia, Phoenicia, and others. Probably Sumer, Assyria, Akkad, Persia, and Mesopotamia. Essentially, ancient Rome repackaged earlier material to fabricate the major monolithic faiths. That's something they don't teach you in today's history lessons. There is alarming degrees of deception and fabrication occurring in today's world. In Morning Coffee 382, Von Helton teaches us that the presidency of Joe Biden was carried through by a body double. The ears, nose, eyes, and hair were different from the Joe Bidens we saw during his term as vice president, And since Joe Biden's executive orders were signed by an auto signature, Von Helton questions whether the signature was that of the real Joe Biden or was it the body double signature? The Honorable Von Helton admits that he can't answer such a question since he's not a linguistics expert. But the deception doesn't stop there. Bill Gates has teamed up with Harvard to block out the sun. This is what Von Helton teaches us in Morning Coffee 385. To support this claim, Von Helton presents an article from USA Today with the headline that reads, "Fact check, Bill Gates is not trying to block the sun's rays in the name of climate change." To which Von Helton refutes, quote, "Actually, yeah, he is." The Honorable Von Helton retorts with a question asking, quote, "Hey, have you talked to anyone from the previous ice age?" He then answers the question with, "No." This is because humanity didn't survive the ice age, and Von Helton reminds us that this was an extinction event. So of course there is nobody left to ask about the ice age today. This is proof that nobody alive can confirm that it occurred because the ice age was a extinction event and human habitation ceased to exist. This practice of grand and elaborate deception allows for matters of control to develop and continue on a grand scale. According to Von Helton, in Morning Coffee 388, the United States could wipe its debt in, quote, 2 seconds, unquote, by simply repealing the Act of 1871 and the Act of 1913. And the Honorable Von Helton teaches us that Obama himself, out of his own mouth, admitted that Sandy Hook was enacted to repeal the Second Amendment. Obama said this out of his own mouth, Von Helton teaches us. In Morning Coffee 383, the Honorable Von Helton recommends that men who attempt to breastfeed babies should be put into mental institutions. Von Helton then says, and these are his exact words, I'm quoting here, "What we don't put people in mental institutions for is exercising their freedom of religion by coming up with a new religion called freedom religion, where they believe they've tapped into the true gods of creation. That's what you don't put people in an institution for, but you certainly put them in an institution if they're trying to breastfeed with no mammary glands." Von Helton teaches us in Morning Coffee 392 that the whole point of being a female is to produce children. Von Helton tells women that's literally why you were created. It's important for us to recognize, albeit somewhat reductive and essentialist, that women essentially exist solely for biological function. The disruptive variables for this function would be life, identity, and purpose. Essentially, anything woke. In Morning Coffee 392, the Honorable Von Helton makes a request to President Donald Trump directly by asking for Martha Stewart to be pardoned for insider trading and to have her entire criminal record expunged to restore her integrity and dignity. Why? Von Helton suggests nobody told Martha Stewart what was legal and what was illegal. And she was taken down by hateful and envious women. Von Helton then tangents to suggest Nancy Pelosi should be arrested for the Logan Act, the Hatch Act, insider trading, and potentially much, much more. And Bill Gates, for that matter. Yes, we're back on Bill Gates here. Bill Gates should be arrested, since Von Helton teaches us that Bill Gates killed millions and millions and millions of Africans and people in India. That's not the only example of elaborate criminal intent. VONHELTON teaches us in Morning Coffee 381 that Carmelo Anthony's murder of Austin Metcalf was a grand conspiracy, premeditated and meticulously planned by everyone around him. Since Carmelo Anthony showed up to that track meet with a knife, he had full intent before arrival of stabbing the boy. And since nobody stopped Carmelo Anthony from entering the track team tent, the coach of the track team was in on it. The event security was in on it. The school staff was in on it. And the judge who lowered Carmelo Anthony's bond from $1 million to $250,000 was in on it. The Honorable VONHELTON delivers a message to Austin Metcalf's father. Quote, "They wanted your son dead really bad, sir." Now, in Morning Coffee 382, the Honorable VONHELTON teaches us that priests, whether monotheistic or pagan, wear gold, especially historically, because gold wards off radiation. If our planet were to descend into a third world war, priests would be protected from radiation poisoning. One thing that VONHELTON mentioned was that priests would always put on gold necklaces and bracelets before speaking to God, and they lived. Could VONHELTON here be suggesting that God emits radiation? He didn't exactly say that, but to me, it seems to be where he was leaning. And to survive an encounter with God might require some protection. In Morning Coffee 391, VONHELTON teaches us that the reason Jewish people throw their babies into the fires of Moloch is because Moloch is the Christian God, according to the Christian Bible. And in VONHELTON's teachings of Morning Coffee 377, we're presented with his new theory. Experiments show plants respond to music positively to one set of music and negatively to another set of music. Could this explain why black men operate in mobs to conduct shoplifting operations? VONHELTON explains. Rap music is common amongst this community. And it's important to consider, he explains, that African music contains certain beats and rhythms not common on other continents. Therefore, the potential mechanism embedded in rap music has been intentionally implemented to deliver these results. He further expresses his new theory with a nostalgic reflection on the past. I'll proceed to quote VONHELTON on this topic now. Quote, "In a previous video, I posted a picture of black folk and how they looked years ago. They wore a suit and tie. The women wore pretty dresses. Women had pearls on, believe it or not. I mean, they were beautiful. The men were handsome. The women were beautiful. Everything was prim and proper. And my, how they've fallen."
Okay, folks, we're almost at the end of this anyways. But if you want to check this guy's channel out, I mean, the shtick, I think it's kind of funny, personally. And he's got a bunch of these. He's done quite a few of them for the last couple months. So, yeah, I mean, check it out if you like it. I seen that the link was thrown out there a couple times, but Cheryl and Lusty put it out there. I'll put it out there too, if it's what tickles your fancy. If not, I mean, hey, that's what makes horse races, right? But anyways, let's get back to this. We got some more stuff to cover, of course.
So, with the AI stuff these days, can people do that? Like, take a video of themselves, throw it.
Yeah,
into
he's real. And like I said, I think he's a follower of Freedom Religion because he bought 2 T-shirts, one of each T-shirt. And I think he bought a couple other things too.
He speaks highly of you.
Yeah. Yeah. He's legit, man. I know that may sound hard to believe, but he's legit. Little on the weird side, maybe, but he's legit. He's totally legit, as far as I know. As far as I know, he's totally legit. So, but yeah, as far as I know, he's real. He's
That's cool.
Dude, I'm watching these videos on the methylene blue that RFK Jr. takes. I mean, I would buy that. I would try that. I would want to try that.
What are you trying?
Methylene blue.
Methylene blue. I've heard of methylene blue. Where the fuck have I heard that? I've heard that term. Methylene
RFK
blue.
Jr. Uses it. He takes it.
RFK. Oh, RFK's talking about. Well, RFK, I mean, RFK kind of disappointed me because he started talking about that measles, mumps, rubella vaccine. And, when I did some digging on it.
And BitChute.
Find him funny.
It's disgusting. A tycoon, a real estate tycoon. All of New York.
I just don't think so because when I see people, I hear them, and I get to know them on whatever level. Like, I just sense that. I get that sense, like, no, like.
You know who I didn't like?
Is that he started a movement because blacks were supposedly so oppressed in South Africa, okay, by the whites. All right. So Nelson Mandela started this movement called apartheid, which was backed by the communists in Russia. Okay. And the communists in China, by the way. It was backed by both China and Russia. All right. It was backed by the communists. And so his party got big, his movement got big, but he ended up getting thrown in jail. And that just made the movement even bigger. And so eventually what happened was when he got out of jail, they elected him in charge of South Africa. And he ended up creating a worse hellscape than what the whites supposedly had. So he ended up being more brutal. He ended up being more brutal and more evil than his supposed white evil handlers were. And so that's the reality of South Africa. And so, when Elon Musk says he come from South Africa, I believe him. I believe him because, they were abused. White folk were abused under Nelson Mandela. That's a fact. That's not my opinion.
Is what I heard.
In fact, to this very day, there are whites living behind big barbed wire fences just so they can feel safe. I'm not kidding.
What I heard is that the white South African people eventually ended up going to Australia and basically started to live there as South Africa. There is still some in South Africa, but most left and went to Australia. That's what I heard.
Yeah, a whole South African family moved to Israel. I was working with them in a call center, and they were thinking of relocating to Australia at first. Then they came here. They're Jewish. And from South Africa, and it's like you got trashy people down there in South Africa.
Yeah,
they're really trashy, a lot of them. John, put my email down there for LendMate, would you? LendMate, I'm going to give you my email, and then that way you can message me or something. If provided you're not a troll, of course.
Is John still driving his car, like driving home?
I have no idea what he's doing. He's awful quiet. I know that. He's awful quiet. You're muted, John, by the way.
Let me just stream of consciousness here. What I was thinking about. I was thinking about. Look, you could give me your input or your speculations. I'm listening to Mike Adams, and I'm hearing sort of a trepidation, fear, and sort of like uneasiness with knowing what's about to happen, because he knows that in a month or less than a month, you're going to have empty shelves in Walmart and Target and all these places where they sell Chinese goods, and he's nervous. I can sense, I can hear, in his tone of voice that he's nervous, that he's apprehensive, like Americans will start, acting out or
Trump?
about. No, I'm listening to Mike Adams on
Adams.
On band.video, whatever, and he does it. He does his analysis. He says America is not going to be able to retool or adjust quick enough.
It's just so horrible. We're so fucking stupid over here. We can't do shit.
There is no tariffs even went into place as of yet, right?
Where's solar at? I don't know. Solar don't come around no more, man.
You know what I thought? Think about this. This is logical, okay? Let's just say, okay, all the trade gets cut off with China. It's getting cut off. There's a globalization ends, and there's a decoupling, and Americans are stuck without the goods that they were used to buying, cheap goods from China, manufactured by slave labor, by really cheap labor. And America has to adjust to the concept of necessity is the mother of all invention. Okay, so all those big box stores at
Hotmail.com.
Walmart, all those big fucking box stores that are all over America in every state dispersed, all the shopping centers. What are those things perfect for? You can retool them, you can repurpose them to be factories, to be manufacturing sites.
That's correct.
They're big. You got huge ceilings, tall ceilings, all the lighting, all the space. You've got all the racks for the inventory. You just repurpose it. You clear out the floors and bring in all the equipment, all the tools, and you have factories. You have.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you a little secret. Americans do not want to work.
Well, sure.
Believe it or not, they do not want to fucking work. Like I know, like anybody that tries to say, "Oh yeah, I just fucking love working a minimum of 8 hours a day," like they're full of shit. Like nobody likes doing it because they fucking like that's a fucking third of your day, 8 hours a day, and that's the minimum. Well, how the fuck anybody gonna try telling me they like doing that?
All right, hold on a second, guys. Hold on a second. Let me give Lynn May my email because she didn't hear me. All right, Lynn May, you ready? It's VON, V as in Victor, O as in Oscar, N as in Nancy, H as in Henry, E as in Edward, L as in Larry, T as in Tom, O as in Oscar, N as in Nancy. All right, VONHELTON at Hotmail, HOTMAIL.com. That's my email. And then you shoot me an email and we'll try to work it out. I'll try to see if you're a troll or a real person. And if you're a real person, then we can go from there and try to work something out.
You know what? I had a humbling experience when I arrived in Israel. And I took a lot of jobs that I'd never thought I'd do. And one of them was a manufacturing job, actually at a kibbutz, at a factory that manufactured nuts and bolts and nails and screws. And I was like in a loud factory, working with Russians and working with volunteers and all sorts of people. And I was on my feet all day. And you know what? And then I worked in another factory in that same kibbutz. Working for on a line and on an assembly line, and I was a fucking machine, changing. No, I worked at an assembly line, and I was like literally part of the assembly line machine, doing the work of a machine. That was miserable, but it got me into super shape, and I couldn't believe that I was actually doing that kind of job.
I bet you made them a bunch of money too, because that's how they make their money. Is like the people that actually do the work.
No, it was a very, very modest salary. I wasn't earning a lot of money.
It's going, man.
No, but for what they're making off you probably made them a bunch. Because I used to do that. I used to make car parts, and I was just making so many fucking parts. I was way ahead of the schedule, and I was making $7.50 an hour. And I was making like, I don't know, it's like so many parts per hour. You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, I made them big. But
yeah, well, you know what? I'm telling you, necessity is the mother of all invention. Whether Americans want to work or don't want to work, they'll be shocked into. They'll like be electroshock therapy. It's either you work or you don't eat. It's like prison terms, prison conditions. You either
definitely the younger people, like definitely the younger people should definitely be encouraged to work like actual, real working jobs, like not just like an office job or anything, like a real physical labor type job. You know what I mean? Just so that way they know what it's like.
If that when that happens, look, when that happens, and when there's a shock to the system, and it's either do or die, perform, work. If you want to, everything improves. All of America's vices begin to kind of wither away. All of the stupidity, all of the shit culture, all the pissy kind of people that have all these, artificial problems, and all the whole entire sick culture over there with the plastic culture. It's all due to a lack of real physical labor on a mass scale. When people are doing physical labor, it's like you're beating the poison out of them. They're in a state of like we don't need to talk too much. We don't need to gossip. We don't need to backstab one another. We don't need to be bitches. We don't need to be drama queens. We don't need to be perverted. We don't need to be like these people that are like, talk shit all day about sex and,
chasing clout all day. That's all some people, all they do is chase clout.
But it's bullshit. It's bullshit. And all this crap about AI taking over. If you're going to get cut off from China, you're not going to be making any robots, and no robots are going to be doing your jobs for you. You got some automation, and all of it turned to manual labor. There's going to be a shock to the system, and then it's going to be a case of do or die. You either work or you don't eat. That's it.
Haven't you ever heard of a dark? It's called like a dark factory or something. It's basically a production factory where there's no people that work there. It's just completely all ran out of robots. And I mean, there might be some people who are actually running the computer, like
it's a fucking dream that Americans have, assuming that once you have an economic collapse, all the fucking robots are going to do the manual labor for you. Sorry to disappoint you, motherfucker.
China's robots do that.
China, it's funny y'all bring this up because I just watched a video yesterday evening. China has already rolled out their robot, and it's fucking amazing. It can do backflips. It can cook. It can clean. It can work weapons.
I saw a video. One of those things malfunctioned and started attacking the controllers or the.
That wasn't these though. This is a new rollout. It's just rolled out.
It went Terminator. It went into Terminator mode.
Yeah, well, it probably did. But I mean, this is a different animal. This is a different category. But it's already been processed. It's already been made. Thousands of units. They're already rolling it out. It's literally a personal assistant. It will do anything you want it to do. You say, "Hey, would you cook me a souffle in the kitchen?" And if you got the ingredients to make a souffle, it will cook you a souffle.
How much does that thing cost?
I don't know. I think they said like $13,000 or some shit to start. But they're making them by the thousands. So I mean, the cost is going to go down.
Yeah, well, you're not getting anything out of China because of the tariffs. You're not buying anything from there.
Maybe not. I don't know. But I just watched the video yesterday, and it blew my mind, man. I mean, you ought to see this robot, man. It can do backflips. It can cook. It can clean. It can work weapons. It can do anything. Literally do anything. And now it's not human. It's not going to ever take the place of a human, but. It was pretty damn impressive.
America is not going to go.
Close, isn't it?
America's not going to the Jetsons. America's not going overnight into George Jetson mode.
We should have been like the Jetsons, but that was bad.
Millions of people over there. You're not going to provide them with personal robot assistants and sex dolls and all that.
You got a robot, dude.
All the fantasy.
Come up with 13 grand, you got a robot.
It would probably be a multi-purpose robot. I mean, it'd probably have a little bit of everything going in, but didn't really call it a sex bot.
If you got 13 grand, you will have a.
I'm sure it would have that option. I mean, if they really did want to do it. But,
well, guess what? Wait. Scenario, hypothetical. Okay, in a month from now, all the store shelves are empty. Clothes are not as easily accessible. You don't have all the cheap products from China. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And Trump is an industrial.
Let me tell you something. I've bought some stuff off these Chinese sites, whatever it might have been, Alibaba or whatever the fuck. And let me tell you, some of this shit, especially it seems like the metal-made products, that real metal or whatever metal it might be, they're fucking well made for not any hands touching it at all. Like, I mean, these things are fucking, like, sometimes just as like, definitely comparable to the real actual, expensive item that it's mimicking. They do some good job for some fake shit that they make. You know what I mean? It's impressive.
No, he was, Trump was on Air Force One. Okay, the media was interviewing him, and he was blaming Richard Nixon for globalization and for exporting all of America's manufacturing capacity. He said it started in the 70s, and it started a downhill trend for America. And it's true. All right? Now, everything, all the values are going to change once there's scarcity and once there's no availability. And then all this vanity that you have in America, all of this, it's not just white. It's not a racial thing. It's not about white privilege, black privilege. It's not about black, whatever color privilege bullshit. All the privilege is going to go away. All of it is going to go away.
No matter what color you are, everybody's faced with the same shit.
But it's going to go away. Those are all illusions because of consumerism, because of cheap goods. America preoccupies itself with jerking itself off. Everybody's jerking each other off over there. Everybody's jerking each other off mentally, sexually, but culturally.
I think.
We're like a jerk-off fest in America.
Yeah,
that I think is speaking highly of America. I think that's giving them a little bit too much credit. I mean, it's a lot worse than that going on. Oh my God!
America became depressed and degenerate because of consumerism, because of decadence and having everything easily available and accessible and cheap. And then
what America's the real problem in there, like the real core problem in America these days right now is that god awful media that they make. They call it music, but that shit's not music, and it's horrendous. The things that they say, and they go then if they say, "Oh, I don't listen to it." What the fuck you mean you don't listen to it? You got the shit blaring, and they're saying all this horrendous type shit that nobody wants to fucking hear. But somehow you're telling me you don't hear it, and it's like, I don't listen to what they say. Bullshit! How the fuck can you not? But they honestly think that it has no fucking effect on anything. Like, they have no acknowledgement of subconscious or anything like that. They live for the here, right the fuck now, or nothing.
It's cultural.
If Cisco is the son of Avatar, this guy is definitely his cousin. I don't.
Apathy. It's everybody to themselves. Everybody for themselves. All this individualism. All right, and I grew up, admiring this value of being, an individual and a rugged kind of like. self-sufficient. That's like the American, image of the rough and tumble kind of cowboy individual.
Crisco, I lost weight. I was over here starving to death with no food
Farmer.
and no gas, no way to get any food, and I literally was starving to death. I went from 250 pounds down to 212 pounds, dude. So that's why this looks so baggy on me, because I literally lost weight because I was starving to death. Okay, so that's why this looks baggy on me. But thank you for noticing.
By the way, Jones was going on about this. I was also watching other videos that the social programming and the cultural, social engineering, the culture was meant to make people separate and isolated and disconnected, and destroying a sense of cohesion, camaraderie, and common purpose. That was deliberate. All
right, enough of Sammy. Let's move ahead. We got more, just some solo Von Helton coming up. So let's have a little palate cleanser, a little quick switcher upper, and we'll be back real soon with some Von Helton content.
We'll be right back after these messages.
You need to back off! Enough is enough!
What's good? You got haters on your ass? You need protection.
Shadowblade Investigations Protection Agency.
Knock out those trolls with powerful MMA training.
I have been hired as a debt collector.
Get back what's yours from those dirty motherfuckers.
I bet you're probably thinking, well, if you're a debt collector, who are you working for?
Shadowblade Investigations Protection Agency.
On many grounds, I could have you arrested.
And honestly, dude, you need to get a fucking life and quit the bullshit.
Don't get mad. Get even. Shadowblade Investigations Protection Agency. The past is the past.
Creamy cobras.
What's up, everybody? I am making this video to reach out to the people that showed up to my house today. I just want to say thank you guys for the gifts. And whatnot. And if you guys would like to, you guys are more than welcome to reach out to me. Like, I have Facebook. I have, obviously, this. I have Discord. Basically, any way you can think of to get a hold of me, like, definitely reach out to me, because I definitely would like to do something to thank you guys, because you guys drove all that way. You guys drove all that way to drop off those gifts, and I absolutely love them, man. I just want to say thank you guys. I definitely appreciate what y'all dropped off, man. Absolutely love it. But to those people that did drop that stuff off, if you guys see this, please reach out to me. Like, reach out to me, get a hold of me, whether that be by Discord, Facebook, however you gotta reach out to me. I genuinely appreciate y'all dropping by. And I want to do something for you guys, man. Like, I definitely want to hang out with you guys. I definitely want to do some photos, videos, whatever you guys want to do, man. Because y'all drove all that way to drop something off for me. And I genuinely appreciate it. I got the note back there on my dresser and whatnot. So, I mean, I do appreciate the love, man. I appreciate you guys showing love and support. So, like I said, to those people that did drop off those gifts, again, thank you so much. I absolutely appreciate it. I love it. And I love handmade stuff. I love handmade gifts. They're fucking awesome. Like, dude, like, I can't thank y'all enough, man. I really can't. So, for those people that did show up here and dropped off those gifts, dude, reach out to me. Get a hold of me, like, right away. Because I definitely want to link back up, hang out with you guys, kick it with y'all, man, and just have fun. I think it'd be dope. Have y'all drop by, hang out, get some photos, videos, whatever, and just have a good time, man. But yeah, get back to me, and I will catch you guys later, man. And to those people, thank you guys. I love you guys. Hopefully you guys see this. And if you guys do, fucking love y'all. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome.
We'll be right back after these messages.
Hot, hearty, delicious. That's what country cooking has always been about. And you can give your family good cooking anytime with
salmonella.
By the lawn. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. And I need a tray. Shit. Now, speaking of the trolls, may they be cursed to 20 generations for what they did to Andrea, my children, my mother, and myself. When I throw these fuckers in prison, and I will, notice I said will, not maybe, I said I will, that's going to be the big question. Everything's my fault. I love that shit. Where do you get off coming between a man and his mama? Everything's Von Helton's fault. Calling CPS out to steal my kids over and over and over again for stupid shit like not doing my fucking laundry. That's somehow okay. Everything's Von Helton's fault, guys. Oh, wait, no, we can't say that because that would make sense. To literally intrude on someone's private life and then destroy their private life. No. No, it's all that evil Von Helton's fault. Yeah, buddy. I cooked them burgers in this. And so the eggs should have a really awesome
Salmonella.
Oh yeah, it's all Von Helton's fault. Yeah, the fact that the school system in Clay County has had a lice problem dating all the way back to the early 1900s, but somehow, some way, it's all Von Helton's fault. Oh shit. No.
Alright, so let's switch gears. Let's jump over to the interwebs and get caught up with Von Helton. Von Helton. Where did I have you? Okay, here it is right there. Alright, so I'm not sure. I haven't watched any of these. But we got 1, 2, 3. We got 4. Why don't we go with the newest one and work our way backwards? Unless you know of something interesting in one of these, folks, by all means. I would like to see the one where he's talking about I'm not going to get too worked up. I don't think he's actually cooking when he talked about, like, you should watch this video. I think probably just talking about it by the sounds of it. But maybe there's more cooking to be had. I'm not sure. Yeah. Vaughn was right. 120, folks. Let's see what we got cooking. If you're just joining, please stick around. Thumbs it up, all that good stuff.
The iconic thing that I warned everybody about, and I'm going to put everybody on fucking blast because I was the one that warned these motherfuckers years and years and years ago, because I overheard Kevin Feige saying, I'm going to take Marvel in a new direction. Well, we've heard those words before, haven't we, class? Yeah. We heard them from Obama, who said, I'm going to fundamentally change America. Boy, he sure did all right. $19 trillion in debt, the FBI in shambles, the CIA in shambles, military in shambles, the economy in shambles. So, boy, he sure did. 19 trillion in debt. More debt than all the previous presidents combined. And that was from mainstream news, not Von Helton's opinion. So when somebody says, I'm going to take something in a new direction, or I'm going to fundamentally change something, beware. Because that's telltale sign that things are getting ready to go south real fast. So, and that's exactly what happened. Everything went south. It's glorious because, before Geeks and Gamers, before the Quartering, before that Star Wars girl, all these people that are got these huge followings, when it comes to gaming and media, and none of them got it right. I did. I'm the only motherfucker that told these dumbasses, hey, the new Avengers, or not the new Avengers, but the Avengers that come out will be young. I was absolutely right, except for Robert Downey Jr. They're all young people. And that Feige had just said they were going to take Marvel in a new direction, which that's bad. That's code word for holy shit. Here we go, And so, and I warned these motherfuckers. I warned them, and nobody listened because everybody was too busy listening to that Star Wars girl or the Quartering or Geeks and Gamers or some of these other people talking about gaming and movies. They listened to them, didn't listen to me. And now, so where are we, boys and girls? Oh yeah, the last 9 fucking Avengers, well, Marvel movies, not necessarily Avengers, but the last 9 Marvel movies have been an absolute flop. When somebody says, I'm taking something in a new direction, watch out. Because that's code for, oh shit, here we go. That's what that's code for. And I've been proven absolutely fucking right. And I told these dumbasses, I said, it's going to be Doogie Howser in space because everybody's going to be fucking young, except for Robert Downey Jr. My pick, by the way. I was the one that suggested Robert Downey Jr. They were not going to pick Robert Downey Jr. That was my pick. I told them, I said, no, Robert Downey Jr. is Tony Stark. Literally. Literally. A drunk billionaire down on his luck. And then he finds out he's got a shard that's close to his heart that can pierce his heart and kill him. Yeah, this sounds pretty close to where Robert Downey Jr. was, wasn't it? Robert Downey Jr. was out of luck. He was drunk. He was a druggie. Nobody would hire him. He wasn't going anywhere. He was dead in the water, literally dead in the water. And everybody's like, well, we can't pick him. And I said, no, Robert Downey Jr. is Tony Stark. He is perfect for that role. And they listened to me, thankfully. And as a result, the Iron Man movie was a huge success. Likewise, with the X-Men. The X-Men, whoever was going to do it, I forget now right offhand, but whoever was doing the X-Men said, we got this guy named Ben that we picked. And I said, no, that's not your man. Your man is Patrick Stewart. I kept thinking Charles Xavier, but no, his real name's Patrick Stewart. And I said, no, Patrick Stewart is perfect for Charles Xavier. And they picked Patrick Stewart to play Charles Xavier in the X-Men movie, and it was a huge success. Isn't it funny that when they listen to me, they make huge money and they make big success stories? But then when they don't listen to me, everything goes to shit. Such as Scarlett Johansson. I love Scarlett Johansson. I would marry Scarlett Johansson if she'd let me. But the thing of it is that even though I like Scarlett Johansson personally, she is not Black Widow. There are literally thousands of Russian American actresses out there dying to get a job. They're struggling to get a job. And they could act that part perfectly and be the perfect Black Widow. But for whatever reason, then they cut her hair. It's like, what the fuck? No, why? Why did you do that? Why did you give Black Widow short hair? No, she doesn't have short hair. But anyway. And, and then they kill her ass off. Okay. It didn't even get to flesh the character out, hardly none, and kill her off. Okay, great. Wonderful. So, Feige has ended up destroying the MCU, or should I say the MCU, because everything went woke and SJW and whammon, and everything just went to shit. Just like I said. But today is a monumental day. Hold on a second. Let me get some noodles in me here. But today is ironically, on the day that I'm going to do my 120th, I was right. It just so happens that on this day, we get a bombshell, and then You're gonna love this shit. You're gonna love this shit. Here we go. Let me share the screen with you. You're gonna love it. It's great. It's great. Okay, here we go. The big reveal. Thunderbolt stars help rebrand movie as the new Avengers. Uh-oh. And there they are. They ripped the bottom of the poster off, and it says New Avengers underneath, which is kind of clever. I got to give them that. But yeah, the New Avengers. How many of you wanted the New Avengers? How many of you thought that the original Avengers, hadn't even been flushed out enough? So now we're into New Avengers when they haven't, the characters hadn't even been. I mean, it's like they kind of rushed through the original Avengers to get to the New Avengers. It's almost like that. It's almost like they rushed through the regular Avengers to get to the New Avengers, because that's what it comes off being. And and I just, this is the death knell, because nobody that I'm aware of wanted New Avengers. Endgame was fucking awesome, and the one prior to it was awesome, but that it should have not been the end necessarily. It should have been the end of the purple giant. But not necessarily the end of the Avengers. But anyway, yeah, it was I'm taking it in a new direction. Well, that's code. That's code for, oh shit, here we go. So I was right. It was Doogie Howser, because all of them were young except for Robert Downey Jr., the one I picked. Had I been casting this, I would have found people that look, sound, and act like the actual character in the comic. And I wouldn't have stopped until I found them. So you get to Captain America. Oh boy. Well, we find out that the one playing Captain America had also previously played the Human Torch in the Fantastic Four original movie. Nothing wrong with that. But then you go on his Twitter page, where he literally talks shit about America up one side and down the other. And people read that and they're like, oh, wait a minute, we picked a flaming communist to be Captain America, our literal icon for this country. And then Mark Ruffalo, the guy that plays the Incredible Hulk, comes chiming in right behind him. Yeah, man, fuck America. Communism is the way. It's like, oh my God, okay. Now I realize that Hollywood is full of commies. I understand that. I'm not stupid. However, I just find it interesting that, we can find one patriotic American to play Captain America, not one. Couldn't find one. There wasn't one patriotic American actor. I mean, Clint Eastwood, but fuck me, he's like 90 and shit, But we couldn't find, there wasn't anybody. Apparently not. Because Feige just didn't bother looking. I mean, they ended up picking an actor that played the Human Torch, for fuck's sake, in the original Fantastic Four movie years and years and years back. So, I mean, I did, the whole thing was just done wrong. It was done wrong. Everything was done wrong. And I knew it was going to crash and burn eventually. I knew it. And, but I mean, you get these premonitions. It's actually not a premonition. I mean, it's pretty fucking obvious. I'm gonna take Marvel in a new direction. Boy, you sure did. You sure did. And now we're finding out. I don't know if you all have been paying attention and listening carefully, but if you listen carefully, what do you hear? You find out that the original Avengers movies were all fake anyway. Because it wasn't even the original Avengers. It was a group of shapeshifters called the Skrull. Acting like the Avengers. So they even fucked up their iconic movie. And everybody's like, wait, what? What the fuck? Wait, what? It's not real? No. Because if you have been following along and paying attention, all the Avengers in the first Avengers movie, second Avengers movie, Skrulls. They're not even human beings. They were Skrulls playing the Avengers. And it's like, oh my God. Okay, so there you have it, folks. The end of the MCU. And Kevin Feige killed it, and I told everybody he would kill it. If y'all had not been listening to The Quartering, if you had not been listening to Geeks and Gamers, if you had not been listening to that Star Wars girl, if you had not been listening to all these guys telling you this was great, which they were at the time, now they've changed their tune. Now that I've been proven right, they've all changed their tune. Yeah, man, this shit all sucks. Well, of course it does. I warned you. Well in advance, I warned you. When somebody gets behind a podium and says, I'm going to take things in a new direction, or I'm going to fundamentally change something, that is code for, oh shit, here we go. That's what that's code for. And this right here is the end. Right here. Ain't nobody wanted no new Avengers. We wanted the Avengers. And we had them for a little while. And instead of fleshing out all the characters, and you know, because I mean, you know, you're talking about comic book legends that span damn near 50 years, if not more. But we kill them off after just a few movies? Why? That makes no damn sense now, does it? No, of course not. Now, granted, they didn't kill Captain America. They just, you know, brought him back as an old man and shit, you know, but I mean, but you know, oh, well, we gotta put time travel in there. Well, why couldn't we have waited until Doctor Strange to bring that in? But whatever. The point is now Doctor Strange, they're doing good with those movies. Doctor Strange is the only remaining hope. But I'm not even holding out much hope for that one. Now, they did bring in Doctor Strange's girlfriend, Cleo, so that will be interesting. But I don't know where that's going. It's just interesting. You know, they could have brought in Manifesto. They could have brought in Nightmare. They could have brought in all kinds of cool shit, but instead they kill Pietro, which is Quicksilver, and then they kill the Scarlet Witch in the latest Doctor Strange. And it's like, okay, whatever. Why they're killing them off? I'll tell you why they're killing them off. They're killing them off because they want the new adventures. They want new this, new that. And my dogs are barking yet again. That's something. But they want something new. They don't necessarily want you know, what we want, which was the Avengers. You know, I mean, I was, you know, those first few Avengers movies and Captain America movies and Iron Man movies, they rocked, man. They were awesome because they stayed true to the original comics. And then Feige got a brain fart and said, oh, let's take everything in a new direction. Well, and now Marvel is tanking. Every movie has tanked since Endgame. Every movie has tanked. None of them have done well, except for Doctor Strange. But Doctor Strange does well because not many people know him anyway. And so he does well. So I mean, people learn about Doctor Strange and say, oh, well, that's a great movie. And it is. So I don't know. We'll see what the next Doctor Strange movie holds. But for now, everything's tanking. Everything is going down in the shitter. And that's just the way it is, man, because I was right. I proved everybody I was right. Now everybody's on board. Oh, yeah, man, golly, gee, everything's in the toilet. Well, maybe y'all should have listened to me years ago and demanded that Feige be removed and somebody else put in there that actually loves the comics. And then we find out through this documentary that they were abusing the shit out of Stan Lee in his old age. What the fuck? Literally abusing the man. Elder abuse, a crime. They were literally committing a criminal act on Stan Lee. They were abusing the man. And it's like, fuck. But yeah, I mean, if you haven't heard, there's a documentary out there that exposes all that, where they were literally abusing and using and manipulating Stan Lee, the creator of Marvel Comics. And that's just shit, man. That's shitty. That's a shitty move. Not to be surprised by that, though, actually, sadly, because that seems to be par for the course. They'll take old fucks like me and say, oh, well, he's elderly, so that means he's stupid and he doesn't know what's going on. Yeah, I still got my fucking mental faculties, bitch. I got a 190 IQ. Come at me, bro. But unfortunately,
I will give Vaughn this. If there was anyone I would know off the top of my head that would be an expert in elder abuse, it would probably be VONHELTON. I would actually give it to him there.
Stanley being up in years like he was, took advantage of him. And the documentary is out there, folks. You can go watch it on your own time. I'm not going to go into that because it just makes my blood boil. Because I mean, I grew up with Marvel Comics and DC Comics. I grew up, enjoying comic books and having lots of fun. And this was just a shitty thing. This is akin to the sports. When I was a little boy, my daddy would take me to Riverfront Coliseum, and we would watch the Cincinnati Reds play or the Cincinnati Bengals play. And I loved it. I was a boy, man. We'd get our popcorn and our hot dogs and our sodas, and we were just having a great time, watching ball. And then, when I got a little older, it's like, oh, by the way, they're not playing it because they enjoy the sport. They're playing it because they're getting $1 million contracts, $1 billion contracts. And then it's like, well, that's.
I think Vaughn misheard things when he was a kid, just like the whole wayward gene thing he used to talk about that would account for him being a vampire. I think that was to do with chromosome count. But I think with what is it? I don't know, whatever.
That's not what I thought. I thought they were playing it because they...
Oh, the IQ thing, yeah. I think what he heard after they tested him is that he had the potential to be anywhere from 1 to 90 IQ. And he just remembers it as 190 IQ. I think that sounds, it's like, throughout the years with the right, the right support, the right education, the tools put in place now, he may reach 90, but right now it's anywhere between 1 and 90. Miss Helton. And that's I think that's a conversation he overheard.
Love to play ball, but no, it's about the money. And it turns out that all the sports ended up being about the money. And I'll give NASCAR credit. NASCAR was the last one to hold out, but even they succumbed to money. And so it became sad. It just became a sad state of affairs, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, folks, and it's very depressing, even. Because this was my childhood. These were things that I loved as a child, and then you find out, no, it's not what you thought it was. In fact, everything you believe is a lie. And we know this because we got our boy William Casey here telling you so. We'll know our disinformation program is complete when everything, yes, damn it, even your religion, is false. William Casey, CIA director from the first staff meeting, 1981. So yeah, everything you believe is a lie. And it's very unfortunate, man. It really is. It's very unfortunate. You know, when you're a kid, you know, you see these ball games on TV, and then you go and see one in real life, and it's so exciting, and you know the crowd is buzzing, and everybody's, you know, it was electric. You know, it was amazing, and then you find out it's all bullshit. It's all about this. It ain't about the game. It ain't about having fun. It ain't about none of that. It's only about this. And it's just so fucking frustrating, you know, when you're a boy and you find out this shit. Very depressing, even, kind of, you know. So, I mean, you know, so obviously as a boy growing up with all these comics and, both Marvel and DC, and having such a good time with it. And then, you know, then they come up with these movies, and it's like, oh my gosh. And the movies were great at first. You know, I gotta give them credit. The first few Avengers movies, the first few Iron Man movies, and the first few Captain America movies were really good. But unfortunately, everything went to shit. Because we're going to take it in a new direction. Right, Kevin Feige? Yes. And that's when I got on here, and I warned everybody. I said, this is going to be Doogie Howser. They're all going to be young. This is all going to be, they're all going to be replaced. All the irregular Avengers are going to be replaced by young folk. And what do we hear in the winds now? Oh, yeah, Ironheart. Well, what is Ironheart? Ironheart is Iron Man's replacement. And who is Ironheart, you say? Oh, it's a teenage black girl. You say, Vaughn, that's insane. No, how can that be? Well, I'm sorry, but it is. They are replacing Iron Man with a teenage black girl called Ironheart. Yes, they fucking are. They replaced Thor with a woman too. And like I said, they're replacing all the regular Avengers with young people. And then now we've got these Avengers rejects, literally Avengers rejects, because that's what the Thunderbolts are. They're the rejects of the Avengers. And now they're calling them the new Avengers, which is embarrassing, actually, kind of. but whatever. I mean, you know, it's Feige's show, and he's running it how he sees fits. Unfortunately, he's running it right down into the pisser. So, since he's running it down into the pisser, well, you know, there you go. And like I said, you know, DC ain't much better. I mean, they come out with all this whamming shit and SJW shit, and so they're going down in flames too. And you know, totally wrong pick for Aquaman. I don't hate the guy. I forget his name right offhand that they picked to play Aquaman, but I mean, it was just, you know, it was the wrong fit. It wasn't what you saw when you picked up a comic at the store, which is what people were expecting, which is what people were wanting, especially old fucks like me. When I went to that movie theater, I wanted to see the Avengers. Not Kevin Feige's version of the Avengers. I wanted to see the Avengers. And like I said, if y'all had been listening to me instead of Geeks and Gamers and Star Wars Girl and all these other motherfuckers that have thousands and thousands of views and thousands of dollars worth of super chats and all this other bullshit, if you'd have been listening to me instead, you'd have been way ahead of the curve. And now everything is tanking. And this is going to tank. This is already tanking. The new Avengers, a.k.a. Thunderbolts, it's already tanking. And then they come out with this shit literally just the other day. Oh, we're calling it the new Avengers now. Well, there you go. There you go. Boom. Yeah, that's the death nail right there. That's the last nail in the coffin right there. Like I said, Doctor Strange may pull out a win. I don't know. We'll see. But then, you know, Doctor Strange wasn't a major comic except for guys like me. You know, most people were into Spider-Man or Iron Man or Captain America. Doctor Strange was my situation. There was a there was another character which was along the similar vein of Doctor Strange. Called Brother Voodoo. Excellent comic. Short-lived as it was. It was an excellent comic though. Awesome. You get to peer into the mysticism behind ancient Africa and shit and see all kinds of really cool stuff that went on behind the scenes. Some of it kind of scary though. It was pretty scary, pretty dark. But it was amazing too, you know, and I won't spoil anything in case they do come up with Brother Voodoo. But if you really want to know about Brother Voodoo, you can Google it. Just put Brother Voodoo comic book because God knows what you'll get if you just put Brother Voodoo. You might get all kinds of weird shit. So just put Brother Voodoo comic book. That way you know you get the right shit, okay? But I mean, it was, you know, it was great. And you know, you're expecting to get what you got in a comic book, and that's not what we got. And I don't know. I want to see things do well. And the MCU and DCU are not doing well. They are tanking, just as I predicted. And so this is kind of my magnum opus, if you will, of I was right videos. Because this is one that nobody can refute. Nobody can say I never said that. Nobody can say I didn't warn everybody, because I did. And so here we are. Here we are. And like I said, Ironheart, there's already talk about Ironheart on the internet as a replacement for Iron Man. A teenage black girl. And a young girl is replacing Thor, and some other young kids will be replacing the rest of the Avengers. And it's like, why? I don't know. Maybe to pull down all of our heroes. You know, one of the things that communism does when it wants to take over a country is it pulls down all your heroes. It will make fun of heroes. It will make fun of patriotic stuff. It will try to destroy the history of your country. And it does all this to demoralize you before they take over. And so this should be a major red flag, no pun intended, that communism is getting ready to take over the United States, because they're destroying all of our history. You saw all them stupid motherfuckers out there in the park destroying all them ancient statues of Robert E. Lee and Abraham Lincoln and all that. Why? Why are they doing that? Because they're communists. Communists got to destroy your history. They've got to destroy heroes. They've got to destroy your icons, destroy anything that you come to before they can take over. Because if you've got stuff that motivates you and makes you proud to be an American, well, we can't have that. We got to destroy all that. And so could it be that the overarching reason why we're doing what we're doing to Marvel and DC is to tear down all those heroes so that we don't have any heroes that we can look to and be inspired by? Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly why it's being done, in my humble opinion. Now, does Feige know about that? Maybe not. It could be people above him. It could be people beside him or even below him that are doing that. But one thing's for sure. When somebody says, anybody says, we're going to take everything in a new direction, that's code for, oh shit, here we go. Okay, you heard it here first. So, because nobody else is saying it, are they? No, nobody else is saying it. Like I said, it's easy to jump on the bandwagon now that all these movies are tanking. Where was everybody out when I was sitting there telling you, hey man, I got a bad idea. I got a bad feeling about this shit. Everything's going to go to shit. It's gonna be Doogie Howser. They're gonna replace them all with young folk, and they're gonna everything's gonna go into an alternate reality, literally and figuratively, and it did. So this is what I was right, magnum opus 120, because it was, and I warned everybody. But nobody listened to me. They listened to Geeks and Gamers. They listened to Star Wars Girl. They listened to The Quartering. They listened to all these other motherfuckers instead of listening to me. But yet, hey, look who ended up being right, boys and girls. I did. Maybe you thousands and thousands and thousands of people, instead of listening to all these other cats, maybe you should have been listening to me the whole time. You reckon? Oh, by the way, I joined Ko-Fi, Ko-Fi, Ko-Fi. And so if you want to leave me a cup of coffee, you can do so now, which is awesome. My Cash App is on the crawl down there as well. So if you want to do that. Now that I'm on Ko-Fi, maybe hopefully somebody will give me a donation. That would be nice. That would be awesome. You can donate as little as $1 and right on up to as much as you want. Maybe there's a rich person out there that will take pity on me and help me get out of the financial morass that I'm in. In fact, I will go on ahead and say it here. I'm trying to get my disability, and we ended up having to get a lawyer in order to get it, and so my disability check may be delayed. I don't know how much, but it may be delayed. And so therefore, I may be off the internet for a while, but I will return. I always do. I will always come back. You know this. I always come back. The trolls say, yep, he's gone this time. We got him this time. And then I always manage to come back. It drives them nuts. Drove my ex-wife nuts too. She's like, why are you always right? I said, well, because I'm a bookworm, number one. And number two, because I'm an old fart. I've been around for a while. I've got to see things that most people don't see. And then plus now I have the help of the gods. I have my ET friends. I have my dogs. I have my magic. So, I've got things to help me along and help me to become who I need to be, which is the Sorcerer Supreme, ultimately. I'm not there yet, I don't believe. I don't believe I'm there yet. I got a ways to go. But things are changing. Things are getting better. Things are improving. And they will. And they will. I was given something the other day. I won't elaborate, but it was a very good thing. And shown something that was very, very, very positive for me. And it's going to make all the trolls on YouTube cry. It's going to make all the trolls on YouTube cry. Because... where's my lawsuit at? Yeah, well, we're going to find out. Maybe sooner than you think, but we're going to find out. So anyways, I'm going to get out of here and went because we are past the 30 mark, creeping up into the 45 mark. So before we get there, I'll go on ahead and ring it off because I basically said what I needed to say. And hey, I was right. VONHELTON was right again. How many times do I have to be right, folks? I mean, seriously, how many times do I have to be right? By the way, get you a VONHELTON t-shirt. VONHELTON was right t-shirt. You can go get that at Etsy. I can give you the link later. But yeah, get you an I was right t-shirt because I was right. I ended up being right the whole time, man. Everybody else got it wrong. I was the only one that got it right. The only one. I don't understand. After you've proven yourself to be right over and over and over again, you would think that the people that were watching The Quartering, that were watching That Star Wars Girl, that were watching Geeks and Gamers, that were watching all these other talking heads and pundits, Tim Pool, Alex Jones, and all the rest of them, you would think that after a consistent I was right, proven with evidence, that people would, join, that they would come to me. Now, Gab does good. I've got 2,000 plus viewers on Gab. Thank you, Gab, by the way. Thank you, Mr. Torba. Mr. Torba blocked the Google algorithms, and when he did that, and then gave me a link so that people could see me, it was great. My page exploded. So thank you, Mr. Torba. I appreciate that. And but it's blocking them daggone Google algorithms because nobody can see me. Google has me persona non grata. Okay. Pardon me. I got 400 followers on X. So you would think that, my videos on X would get 200-300 views easy. No, they're not. No, they're not. They're not getting. They're lucky to get 20 views, if that. Okay, so what's going on? Why can't nobody like, repost, share, whatever? Because they can't see me. The Google algorithms literally prevent people from seeing my stuff. They don't know that I've been posting videos. The people on most of the people on Twitter do not know that I've been posting videos. The only people that actually know are people that go to my physical page on Twitter. Now, those people know I've been posting, but if you don't go to my actual page on Twitter, Parler, Minds, if you don't go to my actual page, you'll never know I'm posting shit. You won't know I'm posting a damn thing because the Google algorithms literally block you from seeing me post content. You will not get a notification. You will not be able to see it. You will not know anything. You have to physically go to my page. And True Social is the same way, although I do have a few people that, kind of pay attention to what I'm doing on True Social. But, most people do not. Most people do not see me because of the Google algorithms. Google algorithms must be blocked in order for people to see me. Minimum. And then it probably wouldn't hurt to, post something so that people can find me like Mr. Torba did, which, again, I appreciate very much, Mr. Torba. And so, and isn't it ironic? Isn't it ironic that, me and Mr. Torba are not the same religious-wise, but that's fine. Don't have to agree on everything. What we do have to agree on, though, is restoring this great republic, setting everybody free. I mean, really free. And, liberty and justice for all. Those are things that both of us can get behind and believe in. And we do. And I am first and foremost a patriot. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here because I'm hitting the 40 mark. I'm sitting here rambling, but in any event, but I am eating my my chow mein, and so I woke up with a start, literally shivering, which is why I didn't do a morning coffee. Literally shivering. I guess we must have had some kind of temperature inversion or something because it was very cold. I had to go turn on the wall hugger in order to heat the house up. I mean, it got really, really, really cold. And it's like, wow, what in the world happened? Well, I don't know. But for whatever reason, it dipped down. It had to have been down in the 30s. Now, when I looked at it, it said 40 something, but no, I'm thinking it was in the 30s. Because it got really, really cold. Don't know why. In any event, though, we are supposed to warm up eventually. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But in the meantime, this is 120 in the can, folks. This is a milestone. This is a mega drop, magnum opus, whatever. Use whatever term you like. Either term works, obviously. But yeah, you got, I just, again, it really frustrates me because they got Iron Man so right, and Captain America, oh my God, bad pick. Very bad pick. Ruffalo don't do too bad as the Incredible Hulk. But I mean, no, when you have an icon, an American icon like Captain America, it should be common fucking sense to say, okay, let's go out, let's find a patriotic American that loves America so much that he eats, sleeps, and breathes it, who can act and who has muscles, and get him to play Captain. I mean, how hard would that be? But apparently it was hard. Apparently Feige couldn't do it. Or anybody else, I guess. So disappointing. Very, very disappointing. But again, what are we trying to do? We got to tear down those icons. Got to tear them down. Because communism can't get a foothold if you've got a hero to look to, if you've got the founding fathers to look to, if you've got, what are they saying now about the Constitution? Oh, it's just a piece of paper. That was what George Bush said. George Bush, the former president of the United States, oh, it's just a goddamn piece of paper. Don't worry about it. Really? Really? Okay. Our president, George W. Bush, the young Bush, Bush Jr., said that. And that should tell you the mindset of the people that are in charge, the people that are in our government. That should tell you the mindset. Because when a sitting president says that, that's a problem. Big one. That is a big problem. And yet that's exactly what he said. Google it. I dare you. I dare you. Do it now, because the trolls are doing it now. The YouTube trolls. Google it as fast as they can Google. Did George Bush Jr. really say that? Yeah, he really said that. He really said that. Just a goddamn piece of paper. No, it's our founding document. And without that founding document, America goes to shit. So again, pulling down those things that we care about, such as heroes. Now, because I know there's going to be people that are going to get on here and they're going to say, well, them's just comic book heroes. They're fake. They're not real anyway. Why is it such a big deal? It's a big deal because heroes are what we look to for inspiration. Whether they're fake or not is irrelevant. We look to heroes for inspiration. And so communism, when it tries to take over a country, has to pull all that down. Because otherwise, the rebels, the patriots, will become emboldened by heroes, fictional or not, and say, yeah, man, we got to stand and fight. We got to fight to defend our country. Well, see, they don't want that. So the founding fathers are slave owners now. The Constitution is just a piece of paper. We're a melting pot. We've got to have diversity, all this other crap to destroy this great nation so that communism can come in and take over. And I tried to explain that to everybody, and it just one ear and right out the other, I reckon. But hey, I was right 120 times. And there's no getting around it. There's no way to spin this. There's no way to, because my original video is on BitChute right now as we speak. So there's no way anybody can deny it. I was right about this shit. Totally right about this shit. And it's a shame that, those thousands and thousands of people didn't listen to me and listen to everybody else. And oh well. And I said I was going to get out of here, didn't I? Yeah, I did. But I keep yakking, and I keep eating my chow mein. Good stuff. Anyway, well, in heaven, you should make your own chow mein from scratch. Well, yeah, well, if I could be on my feet all day, I probably could. Because you can't burn the rice, right? Or the noodles, either one. Can't burn them. Anyways, I keep saying I'm going to get out of here, so I'm going to get out of here. But yeah, man, 120 in the can, folks. Now what? A milestone. Something that the trolls and haters and naysayers cannot dispute. And it's a shame that all those people that listen to these other cats weren't listening to me. Let alone the super chats. I mean, the super chats would be nice too. You know, and like I said, I'm on Ko-Fi now, so maybe somebody will actually give me a cup of coffee. That would be nice. You realize, I did have somebody that was giving me a few bucks on Cash App. No, they disappeared. I don't know where they went. They stopped. I don't know why. Maybe they lost their job or some shit. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what happens to people? You know, that's the thing. You don't know what's happening to other people elsewhere. And it could be totally legit. You know, he could have lost his job or something. Who knows? You know, the economy was pretty shitty under Biden. So, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how things go. But I was shown a thing. And hopefully what I was shown will come to pass very quickly. One can hope. In any event, I'm going to get out of here. This is I Was Right 120 in the can. And I was right. Everybody else was wrong. What do you want me to say? You all have a pleasant day and better tomorrow. Bye.
Well, folks. What an accomplishment. A man, you know, over 60 years old has been right 120 times in his life. So, you know, that's twice a year. Like a broken clock almost, right, folks? Of course, that's not true at all. He has not been correct that many times. Yeah, so there's more Von Helton over here. I'm not really sure if there's anything worth. I mean, obviously he's ranting about Bill Gates. Probably a bunch of stuff I can't play. The Nelson Mandela stuff, he's going to talk about how Nelson Mandela is like was worse on whites than the blacks ever had it. Let's try a little something here, another little palate cleanser. Just for a moment, if you'll indulge me. I see Emo has something to say about the new Pope. So I thought maybe we'd check in with Emo and see what's going on. If you would, folks. Let's turn up the volume. I don't know what his position will be. I wait with bated breath.
That's all you need to know. I'm giving you one. So ladies and gentlemen. All right, Ziggy, shut up. We got enough people in here. So we'll go on camera for this one. So a new dope has been declared by the Vatican. A new dope. Okay. Because I don't believe in the Catholic Church. I never liked the Catholic Church. And the guy means nothing to me. But he's a religious figure, Emo. How dare you make fun of the Pope? I've been calling the Pope the dope since the 80s. Okay? So it's not a new thing. It also says in the Bible, I believe somewhere in the Bible, it says, when everybody was selling things in God's temple, and Jesus Christ went in there and overthrew the tables and everything, he says, you're not supposed to worship anybody other than God. You're not supposed to put anybody on a pedestal and make them an idol. Like you're not supposed, I know this is a flashlight. You're not supposed to take a purple statue of Elvis Presley and go, oh my God, I idolize you, Elvis Presley. No, you're not supposed to do that. I've had issues. I call the Catholic Church. You know what I call the Catholic Church? This is why this is going to piss people off. I call the Catholic Church the fuckless church. What do you think I would call the Catholic Church? The fuckless church. What do you think I would call it? The fuckless church? What do you think I would actually call it that? Because of the essaying of ABs. And instead of the church being silent about instead of, well, let me put it this way. When an essay of an AB happens, the church is all quiet about it. They transfer that priest to another fucking parish and they sweep it under the rug. No, you touch a kid, you get deflocked, you never go into another Catholic church again. But why don't they do that? Because the Catholic Church doesn't want to get fucking sued. That's why they don't do it. So if Rick Perry's a priest and he's essaying boys in California, well then they'll just move him to, well, we'll quietly, Rick, go pack your things and we'll quietly move you to another parish in Colorado. And then when he gets caught in Colorado, I'll quietly pack your things and let's move to the next parish. And the next parish after that. That's one of the biggest reasons why I have no respect for the Catholic Church. No respect for the fucking church at all. Because instead of exposing these priests that are doing it, they just ship them off to another church. It's okay, it's fine. Because we don't want to get sued. That's why they do it. They hide it all under the fucking rug and they just keep moving the asshole from church to church to church to church. And he keeps essaying and essaying and essaying and essaying more minors. And they allow it. I have no respect for the Catholic Church. I have never had respect for the Catholic Church because of that. The last time, I would say it was about 6 years ago, I happened to buy one of those. I don't remember if it was the Inquirer or the, it was a tabloid magazine, you know, the Star, the Examiner, the Inquirer. It was one of those. And in one of the fucking thing, it talked about in this one article that they were doing in this magazine. You remember this, Mike? Don't remember? It had a 2-page spread. And it had icons across the page of where all the different there was this one priest that changed churches 26 times. And it was published in one of those tabloid magazines. He should have been put in prison after the first time he did it. He should have been changed 25 plus times to another fucking church. To me, there is only one God upstairs. And you're not supposed to take something and say, oh, this is an idol, I worship it. You're not supposed to do that. So, there's not one man in the Catholic Church that's better than any other man in the Catholic Church. So, I don't believe in the fucking dope. I'm sorry. And like I said, if this pisses you off, this is in my opinion. I don't believe in the Catholic Church. I don't believe in the dope. And I don't believe in allowing fucking priests that essay minors to go from church to church to church to church to church to church, and they don't stop it. I don't condone that. The essaying of ABs. I don't condone that. I will never condone that. So, now this is the first time I've used this moniker. on fucking YouTube. This is my first time I've ever used the REV before my fucking name. And yes, if you want to be technical, back in 2003, actually, I did it twice. I did it in 2010, and I did it in 2013 when I changed my name. All you gotta do is look up the Universal Life Church, and you can become an ordained fucking minister. That's right. I've been a goddamn minister since 2010 under the name Edward J. Scarrow. And then it got changed to Justin Edward James Nelson when I got married in 2013. Okay? So I actually went and did it twice. And I have both certificates with both credentials. But I don't come on YouTube and flaunt it. Because I don't like coming on YouTube and talking about religion. But everybody's making a big deal. Oh, a new dope has been declared. Oh, and it's the first American dope. Oh, my God. Doesn't make no difference to me. Now I will tell you a little bit about Emo's religious background. Okay. When Emo was born, Emo was Catholic. My mother and father at the time, well, my father was always an atheist, but my mother at the time when I was born was a Catholic. So you might as well say for the first 3 or 4 years of my life, Emo was a Catholic as a baby. Just my mother worked she had a LP license. She was a registered nurse. And I'll tell you what made the family leave the Catholic Church. You want to know what made the family leave the Catholic Church? Here it comes. So 1976, my mother's working as an LPN. I'm about 3.5 years old. Right? My mother has an accident. She fucked up her back again. She fucked up her back really fucking bad. Because of the way she fucked up her back in the accident, they took her LP license away because she could no longer lift up patients and shit. This is 1976. My mother is in the hospital. The priest walks in and tells my mother, sitting in the hospital room, well, you chose to go to work, then go to church. You worked on Saturdays. So this is God's punishment because you worked on Sundays. That's what the audacity of a fucking priest, a fuckless Catholic priest, came to my mother's hospital room and said, you had an accident because you worked on Saturdays and you weren't going to church, and this was God's punishment. My mother threw him the fuck out of the fucking room, and she never ever looked back at the Catholic Church. While she's in the hospital, flat out, you know, because her back is all fucked up. While she's in the hospital, a Billy Graham crusade comes on the TV at the church. A Billy Graham crusade. And that's when my mother accepted the Lord Jesus Christ. That's when my mother became a Christian. That's when that's when my mother's side of the family became Christian. And I was raised Christian after that. Now emo is now. If you want to know what emo is a United States. No, not the United States. It's got the word United in it, but there's not States in it. Emo is a United Methodist now. Because what pissed me off is when, for years, going to Christian churches, I ran the soundboard in the church. At a Christian church, ran the soundboard. I would sing at a Christian church. I would do, even when I first got into public access television, I even used to record church services for the Christian church. And then they found out I was gay. And then they did this whole thing, well, running the soundboard is part of a ministry, and you can't be part of a ministry of the church if you're gay. You can come to church all you want. You can come to our potluck suppers. You can go to all the mass, all the church services you want to. You can make sure you throw money in the offering plate. Hallelujah. But we can't have you singing. We can't have you running the soundboard. We can't have you doing anything part of the church. We can't have you doing anything hands-on in the church because you're a homosexual. So that made me, I finally had enough of that shit. So I walked out of the fucking, I stopped going to Christian church like 2013, 2014 because, they wanted me to come every Sunday and throw money in that fucking, I was good enough to throw money in the fucking offering plate, but I wasn't good enough to sing in that fucking choir anymore because I was gay. I wasn't good enough to run their cameras anymore because I was gay. I wasn't good enough to run their sound system anymore because I wasn't gay. But this
Can you imagine him in the choir, folks?
come in there every Sunday morning, hallelujah, praise Jesus, and put money in that offering plate. So after that, I stopped going to church. And ever since I left the actual body of a Christian, stopped going to a regular body of a church, there are two churches that I watch online. One of them is Thomas Road Baptist Church, which was started by the Thorwells. I watch that when I feel like it. And the church that I am a member of now is a Methodist church, because the Methodist church welcomes gay people in with open arms. So I officially, out of the last 4 or 5 years, I have left the Baptist church and I am now a United Methodist. But I can't go to church because the church that I joined, there's a church that I joined because I like it really, really, really cool. And it's thousands of miles away from emo. The church that emo is a member of and belongs to is Cathedral of Hope. And guess what the Cathedral of Hope is? Dallas, Fort Worth area. That's where Cathedral of Hope is. That's where if I want to send money to a church, that's where it goes, to Dallas, Texas. Because that's the church I like.
Because Emo's got all kind of money to throw around. I don't want to listen to too much of this. We'll skip ahead a bit, see if he gets to do a rant about something.
Now, 2010, 2000, the website, it says, well, what happens if I get ordained?
We'll just skip through.
That's just the way I fucking feel about it. So if I piss you off, I don't care. I don't like the essaying of altar boys. Sorry. Don't like it. Yeah, and guess what her crime was? She had people come on her show and talk about Planned Parenthood. She had people come on her show and talk about abortion. And they didn't like her having this Planned Parenthood, giving Planned Parenthood a forum. They didn't like her giving the people who want to do abortions a forum. So because all she did was go on the radio and let these guys on her church on her show, the Catholic Church deflocked her. Where she couldn't do communion, she couldn't do anything in the fucking Catholic Church. You can worship the Pope. You can put him on the pedestal. You can do whatever the fuck you want. But to me, he's a nobody. He's just a guy from the United States. No better than me. No better than Mike. No better than any person in this room. That's just the way I feel about it. But I don't bring the whole Reverend thing and wave it in everybody's face. And this is the first time I used the Reverend thing in one of my videos. Go look at any other of my YouTube video. When have you seen Reverend Emo Hallingwolf as my name in a fucking StreamYard? And all the time since StreamYard came out. Because I don't flaunt it. I don't tell people my shit. See, I still don't have my good computer back up here yet. So, and I had Mike's computer. Okay, because Mike also had a computer that he bought. Okay, I do it in the middle of the night because I want to make sure that bitch is clean, and I want to make sure it's processed all the way. And once it's done processing on Rumble and it's been up for a few hours, then I take the Rumble live stream and I go blam and throw it on YouTube. So the Core TV channel on YouTube is right here. For the Shoutcast server, I can't fucking afford it anymore. Decided that, we can't have all these independent fucking internet people fucking So go look at council meetings on YouTube. They're all done that way now. The fucking camera is zoomed out from the panel. You can't see any. The camera doesn't move on who's talking, doesn't get a close-up of who's talking, doesn't go to the podium of who's speaking at the podium. It's just 12 fucking guys sitting at this long fucking table, and you can't see any of these people because the camera's so zoomed out and the fucking... That's what public access channels has become to. Kobe.
I love the little brain farts. I gotta put that back.
They're all done that way now. The fucking camera is
Watch.
zoomed out from the panel.
It just
you can't
collapses.
The camera doesn't move on who's talking, doesn't get a close-up of who's talking, doesn't go to the podium of who's speaking at the podium. It's just 12 fucking guys sitting at this long fucking table, and you can't see any of these people because the camera's so zoomed out and the fucking...
Right there.
That's what...
His brain just shut down for like a fucking second and a half.
Public access,
Oops. Sorry. It just... it just froze in time.
Public access channel right here in town. It's on the internet only. Well, I started my public access. fucking guys sitting at this long fucking table, and you can't see any of these people because the camera's so zoomed out, and the fucking
Right there. He is like in another universe right now. He is not with us. And then comes back.
That's what public access.
Like he never missed a step. This is like a Bermuda Triangle kind of situation, folks. It's his watch is now like a second and a half behind everybody else's.
Channels has become to. COVID killed a lot of fucking public access channels. That's why I started my own one. That's right. I run a public access channel right here in town. It's on the internet only. I went on eBay and bought it for $250. I bought a camera. I have a 20-year-old fucking camera that I go around town and record things with. But yeah, the film. Let me see if I can find it. So everybody's gonna say, Emo, how are you recording things then? Whatever, you can't get the tapes. All over here in this little box. This is for the people who have old cameras like this. This was actually made in 2001. That model came out. This is as old as 9/11, for Christ's sake. Can convert. This is how I convert it. Okay, see how easy that works? Look retarded, but it works. Lady Di knows where it is. And every time he went to that one particular side of the stage in the fucking video, you could see Emo's fingerprint on the fucking screen. To 2 o'clock in the morning. So from 2 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock in the morning, if you paid for the deluxe version of the concert, they replayed all the shit from the South Stage in the middle of the night. And there's a guy at a filling station with one of those old-fashioned fucking gas pumps. You know, the ones you had to literally fucking pump it by hand. And he's filling a fucking car with the handheld pump. McDonald's joke. They took it out of the original fucking movie. I had those deleted scenes down in the basement, cocksuckers. Okay? That I'll never get back. Along with the extras of Woodstock. So, yeah, I could have used this a few years ago. But all my tapes are gone, all my records are gone, all that shit's gone because a bunch of MAGA trolls decided, oh, let's get Emo thrown out of his fucking house. For the lulz, let's do it. So a lot of people got pissed off at me the other day because I said a remark about Andrew's daughter. Well, you're going real rural, Emo. Leave the kids out of it. Didn't Andrew go real world on me when he called my fucking landlord? Didn't Andrew go real world on me when he fucked with the electric company? So don't talk about me going real world on Andrew's fucking daughter when he went real world too. So I don't want to hear that real world shit. Because Andrew ain't no fucking innocent fucking person out there. He's not. So I don't have that footage anymore. It's all gone. Because I got thrown out of the house. By trolls people going real world on Mike that didn't do anything to anybody. I still think when we were living in Florida that somebody got him fired from Circle K. I know it was a troll that did it. Because the manager's like, I really don't want to do this, but it came down from corporate. Yeah, because Mega Trolls got a hold of corporate and got fucking Mike fired from his fucking job. Right? Right. So don't talk about me going real world on people when Reebok gone real fucking world on me. I don't want to hear that fucking shit. Because if you would have left the fucking landlord alone and she wasn't getting fined and harassed by the building inspector because you guys couldn't leave shit around, there was nothing wrong with that yard on Kimball Avenue. All those vehicles were registered. Except for the motor home that was being torn apart. You want to say my yard was terrible, but look at Rick Crude's fucking yard. Right? Go look at Rick Crude's fucking yard. Where he's got boards missing off the house. Well, I had to take the boards off to wire a new stove in. 4 fucking years later, the boards are still off the motherfucking house. Hello? And like I said, people are talking about the people I threaten. The only reason why I haven't gone after some people, there are 2 reasons why I haven't made good on the threats where I threaten people. 1, I ain't got the money to come get you because you decided to get me demonetized. And I don't piss in my tank. That's number 1. And number 2, a lot of you keyboard warriors hide in your fucking basements. You gotta know where emo lives, but David Johnson won't give me an address. Billy the Fridge won't give me an address. Hum Along if you can't sing along won't give me a fucking address. Andrew won't give me a fucking address. But they all gotta know where emo is, right? Just saying. Just fucking saying. So, I meant what I said. People want to go real world on me. I want real world on them. And then they want to talk about, well, you shouldn't have said this and you wouldn't have said that. Well, according to Honest Abe and other people are now, rumor mill has it that Gary Snowflake was a fake character. Well, if that means that Gary Snowflake was a fake character, anything I said about his kids was theatrical. It doesn't. You can't call me racist for that because it doesn't exist. If Gary was a fake character on the internet that was killed off, because that's Abe's theory, not my theory. I think Gary's really burning in hell, but I'm going by Abe's theory here. So everybody calls me racist because of what I said about Gary's kids. Well, how do you even know Gary even really had kids? And how do you even know they were fucking mixed race? Because did he ever show them on YouTube one fucking...
Like, that even makes a difference. Like, even if he didn't have kids, or he did and they weren't mixed race, he still said, like, racial slurs to insult somebody. Like, if I think someone's a black guy, and I call him the N-word, and it turns out he's a white guy, it's like, just forget it. I mean, maybe no harm, no foul, no one got insulted, but I mean, you still said what you said when you said it. I mean, if that matters, I guess.
Time. No, he didn't. And I'll say it again. Everybody loves to rub that fucking Cumberland Street video in my face. There were no Mexicans living on Cumberland Street. There were no Afro-Americans living on fucking Cumberland Street. What lives on Cumberland Street is a lot of white trash and Somalian people. That's what lives on Cumberland Street. So to say, oh, he's being racist on that Cumberland Street video, again, null and void. Doesn't hold water because the video was untrue. The nationalities that I mentioned in that video.
Well, I don't know. Let's see whether there's what kind of people live there. I'm not sure, but let's just revisit what Emo had said. Oh, wait a minute. Just what's going on? Oh, no, I moved the file. Anyways, long story short, you all know what he says. You know, about the spicks and spades and... Anyways.
Video did not exist on that.
But now it doesn't count because it turns out there weren't any spicks or spades on the street.
Therefore, that video is null and void. Just saying. So we got Justin Bieber out there making jokes about black people, singing one less lonely N-word, one less lonely N-word. I'm not singing that. Justin Bieber was singing that. And then Justin Bieber's caught on video saying, why are black people afraid of chainsaws? And then he goes, run the N-word, okay? Making it sound like a chainsaw, okay? So it's all right for Justin Bieber to get a pass for his racist actions. It's all right for Mel Gibson to get a pass for his racist actions. It's all right for Don Imus to get away with his racist actions. Roseanne's back on TV again. So she's gotten a pass for her racist actions, but Emo is not allowed to get a pass for his racist actions, right? It doesn't compute, people. And I'm going to continue to bitch about that because I lost a lot of fucking shit because you trolls couldn't mind your business. That's just the way I feel about it. If you didn't fuck with the landlord, I'd probably still be living there. Andrew, so if I mess with you, you went real life on me. You fucked with the electric company. You fucked with my landlord. You fucked with building inspectors. So if I want to say nasty shit about your daughter, I got the right to say nasty fucking shit about your daughter because you went real world on me first, cocksucker. So all the people that were bitching at me last week said, "Oh, you shouldn't have brought kids into it." Well, he shouldn't have brought my electric company into it. He shouldn't have brought the building inspector into it. He shouldn't have brought my landlord into it. He shouldn't have brought Mike into it by making a fucking mockery out of me and Mike's wedding video. So Andrew ain't fucking innocent. That's all I'm gonna fucking say. He's not fucking innocent. Now with that, like I said, I don't give a fuck that we have a new pope. I could care less that we have a new dope. The dope means nothing to me. That's what it means. The dope means nothing to me. If that offends Catholics, I don't give a fuck. Just keeping it real. I don't give a fuck. So I'll see you later.
All right, folks. Well, there we are. I think that's a good place to cap it. I think that emo speaks from many of us, what we're feeling in our hearts. And yeah, let's just yeesh, let's just leave it there. Okay, folks, thanks for coming out. If you don't mind thumbsing it up on the way out, I sure would appreciate it. Share it with your friends, family. Makes a great gift. We got a lot of birthdays coming up, all that good stuff. You know, I'm just saying, I'm just giving you ideas. But we'll keep our eyes and our ears open and keep you posted on further developments. I think I got a feeling there's something going on with Vaughn too. There's something going on in this money situation. I was talking about it with someone earlier. I'm pretty sure he's just getting chunks of payments on the property, and that's how he got like the new computer. He got the car and stuff the first time. It was a big payout, and he's getting these little dribs and drabbles and complaining about money and whatnot. So something's going on there. We gotta figure that out, folks. We gotta get to the bottom of that. But I'm sure things will start cooking up here shortly. Rev and Shanny are due for a good blowout. You know, you can never predict the lulls, folks. You can never predict the lulls. Don't even try. But anyways, that's it. I'm out. I'm over. I'm done. I'm done rambling. I'm not going to pull a Von Helton, go for like 14 more minutes. I think this is it, folks. Have a good night. A good morning.